Howdy folks, and welcome to Alberon RPG, to the home of Adventures in Alberon, a D&D campaign that spans a tremendous amount of time. My name is Joe Treff, I am the DM this evening and I am joined by my friends, Matt, Vincent, Tina, Alana, Kara, and Hannah. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. We are in slightly different order because after today, we will be starting Campaign 3 of our long 10-part meta D&D campaign. But before we do that, a couple of quick announcements, and then I'll talk about what tonight is going to look like. First of all, last night we played the second session of our Humblewood campaign, which is, I believe, based off of Mapak Lost in Time?
Mapak Out of Time, which is not the main Humblewood campaign. It's a...
Module.
Thank you. A module.
It's fantastic. We're having a blast playing it, and so you can check that out on YouTube when it re-airs at noon on Sunday. There is a final session that is going to be coming next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, so join us for that. So today, I'm going to do a brief Q&A. Some of the questions that players have had throughout the camp... What?
You know what else
Iron
is
and Thorn.
airing?
Oh, right! I
It's fine! We know that no one is looking forward to it!
Full disclosure, I really wasn't planning on doing the session for another 3 weeks. So this is all very rapidly coming together. But yes, we are having Iron and Thorn, a Cypher System game using the Old Gods of Appalachia rule set. Kara wrote, designed, and created this whole extensive setting and story, and really almost, I would call it like a thematic rubric of what this is. Somebody last night said a really great name for it. It's Kara.
Oh, Karathulu.
Karathulu. It's a fantastic.
I enjoy this.
I enjoy it a tremendous amount. It is a story that breathes in a very uncomfortable way, and so you can join us for that on Sunday.
The best type of breathing.
So today,
Mouth breathing.
we're going to do a brief Q&A. Some of the questions that players have had relating to Campaign 2 that they have been kind of compiling over the campaign, we're going to get a chance to answer, provided that it does not impact larger events in any of the other 10 campaigns, which, if you go to alberonrpg.com and you see some of our other stories, you can see code names that give a hint at all 10 of those campaigns, because I truly have it all charted out. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are not pertaining to the larger story. We're then going to do a brief overview for anybody who is new and joining us for the very first time, so that if you are jumping into A Tale of 12 Gems, you are not sort of trying to figure out what's going on. There's a lot of history. Yeah, there's like a decade of real world playing D&D, and then something like 39 years of in-game history that has occurred around the table. So a lot to catch up on, and we're going to do that in probably about 15 minutes, summarizing Campaigns 1, Campaigns 2, the major consequences of them, and then we will talk a little bit about Campaign 3, the setting, why it's important in the overall sort of meta story, and then we'll take a brief break. And after that, we will step into the shoes of our Campaign 3 characters on a mini adventure, a very mini adventure.
Those shoes are so tiny.
They're incredibly small shoes.
Mine are huge.
Set prior to the start of Campaign 3. This is a chance to meet the seventh friend of the Misfits before all of you on session 1 begin by arriving at their funeral.
And that's sad.
Several years.
Wait, what?
So, with that, let me change the music here. This is nice, pleasant, social calm music.
Isn't that how we're started?
Travel Explorer. Also, thank you to Sirenscape and Monument Studios Music for sound. We're going to be leaning on Monument Studios a little heavier than we did in Campaign 2. And so the sound sets are going to be evolving a little bit as well. So players, Wandering Hearts. This is the time where any of the questions that you've had over the course of Campaign 2, you can ask, and I will do my best to answer them. Bearing in mind the number of notes, I'm going to read the number of pages at some point, but it's tens of thousands of pages of notes to go through. So what questions do you have? Yes.
What happened to Petal?
Okay. So
Our representative immediately starts with the self-centered question.
I compiled the questions. I get to ask what happened to Petal.
Petal was the sprite.
Hannah?
Sprite or pixie? I can't remember.
She was a sprite.
Sprite.
A spritsy.
So this sprite, a familiar of Alina, the warlock that you began as playing was not super happy at being a familiar, but as rite of passage amongst the pixie village that she was a part of, you have to go and serve in the material realm as a familiar. So that's a much less strict version of Rez's sort of circumstances. She wasn't thrilled, but she was going to get through this and then get back to her community and take on her part in the watch. When she was freed from her duty, technically that satisfied the service requirements that she had. And there was a very brief chance in the Feywild that you would have been saved in a very, very challenging encounter that you never came across by Petal, leading a group of pixies. And I actually have you may have seen, I have a lot of pixie minis back there for exactly that.
So it was right that I saved her.
You saved her from labor.
Right. Freed her. I meant
freed her.
I was had the words.
You fired her into the Feywild. And it was a little bit rough, but yes, ultimately it was a good outcome for her.
Hooray!
What was that encounter that we could have had? Like when during the campaign could we have run into that?
It looks like pretty deep in the campaign. I think session 133. Let me just double check.
When were we in the
I think it was earlier.
We're in the Feywild a couple
I do
times.
have our
Yeah.
document of questions up, so
it was
I can
one
also-
of. So I have to figure out exactly where, but in the hut, of all the places that you could have traveled to, there were several within the Feywild, and in one of those, you would have had to face off against a flowery version of the Hydra, with the heads that regrow and everything. And she was going to fly in, and they have stuff specifically to stop the heads from regrowing. So it was supposed to feel a little bit overwhelming, and then like the big payoff to Petal was going to be her coming in and being.
Oh, that's really neat.
Thank you, Joe.
Other questions?
Representative.
Okay. So I've compiled everything from our Discord chat, which goes back years at this point. We only started tracking our questions around the time that we met Sentinel. So I can start there if you're feeling ready, or I can start at the most recent and go back.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
So Vincent wants to know what Valis would have seen during the tarot card reading if he had bothered to show up that session.
Were those my words or yours?
His words, not mine.
Valis. As the cards are drawn, the first one drawn is the world, upside down. Valis, you would have stood upon this card standing on Everest itself, and this symbolized the incompleteness that you had in this moment, both in memories but also in really understanding what your purpose amongst this group was. In the present, you would have drawn the sun. Valis riding upright on a horse away from a huge sun over a landscape, this symbolizing success. In joining the Wandering Hearts, ultimately, you were furthering the goals that you did not know you were fighting for. In the future, you would have drawn the Fool, a happy Valis, dressed in bright clothing, upright, symbolizing that at the end of this journey, at this moment, the most likely trajectory of Valis was a happy ending. Not everybody had that. I saw that Billy had been curious about what would come up if Billy had their fortune told. Billy, in the past, the devils. 3 wicked hags on front, with Billy and another hooded figure in chains at their feet, right side up.
Damn!
This would have told you a little bit about what was going on in terms of some of the background happenings, with potentially meeting up with Morwa later. In the present, you would have had the devils again.
Damn.
3 fatter wicked hags on front,
Double
with Billy
dip.
at their side, right side up. No longer is there a secondary figure. This representing, and this was not a path that you ended up taking. But over the course of the campaign, there were a number of times where you heard the words, "Come home, Billy." And you stepped through, and you led this group, very specifically, you led the Wandering Hearts across this place and to a place where you were doing the hag's bidding. You were eliminating the Auntie's competition, the people who would not bend to theirs, and by proxy, Gracial Duneth's whim. And in exchange for being allowed to take the Tyrant's Peninsula when Gracial Duneth left, they were responsible for bringing the hags of that place into line. And you did a lot of that for them. So that's what that would have symbolized. And then at that point, your greatest trajectory here in the future, the Hanged Man. It would have been a card depicting Billy hanging, symbolizing that you are controlled, but essentially dead. But a sacrifice changed the trajectory of that quite a bit.
Thanks, Rumi.
There's a lot of questions in here, so I might kind of... I know you didn't
everyone
want to
else-
spend like the entire night.
Took it at a time.
All right. We have a lot of questions about the Candlestick Forest.
Sure.
Why didn't Valis dream in the Candlestick Forest, and what would he have dreamed if he had?
Dreams are a manifestation of memories, and Valis didn't have the ability to create the
makes
same
sense.
dreams that he had, because I actually ran through a game plan where Valis could cheat into his memories by sleeping if he was willing to basically fight hags every night. And there's a part of me that was,
Would have hated you more.
in order to help the relationship,
Killed another 3 last
I was
night.
like, I could see a lot of ways that this will go wrong, and so I was like, I'm just not gonna. It's just gonna be no memories, and so that's why Valis didn't dream.
Damn.
Yeah.
I have a question that's before the log. The original vampire that charmed Ori, what is their, like, what's going on with them now? Are they still I mean, that might still be something you can't answer right
So I
now.
can answer a little bit of this. The person that you're talking about is... So we played a game a number of years ago called Bloodroot. And in that game, there was a librarian whose sole purpose was to free Lord Samathorn, and then in a cinematic moment at the end, just get yeeted off the roof to kind of symbolize that Samathorn didn't give a shit about like humans, really just puppets. Even this person who like their whole life was built around him, just cast aside in an instant. She survives the broken back on the ground, and when Lord Samathorn rises and you all fail to stop him, he admired that strength and converted her into a vampire. And so you saw her younger than she had been in Bloodroot, by all intents and purposes, stronger, obviously back not broken, and now a vampire. She serves the Samathorn Court, which is one of several vampiric courts that exist within Everest, or within Alberon.
So when the Lord Vampire later on
Yes.
said that my soul was already claimed, was he referring to the Samathor court?
Yes, and it's not souls in the same way that vampires deal with souls. It's a whole concept of privilege and right, and so there's like it's similar to
Are
the
they gonna do
ordning,
some,
but not
like-
exactly right.
They were gonna do some mean shit.
How does one spell that vampiric name that you have mentioned a few times?
SOMATHORNE.
SOMATHRONE.
Samathorn.
Thorn.
SOMATH.
Not Samathrone.
No, Thorn. He was the last king of Dungannon and was overthrown during the Dawnbreak Rebellion.
I was gonna say, was that the one shot that we played in
4-part.
Dungannon?
Yeah. Where there was like the festival that went all night and then into the day.
Very nice.
Yeah.
See, it all
Okay.
ties together.
So we went into those cobalt caves under the Candlestick Forest for a bit,
Ew.
and then we went back in. Why was there so much Far Realms magic around down there?
The Celisylacine.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
So much what magic?
Far Realms.
What's
I don't
Far Realms?
I don't remember. I just know that I wrote it.
So the
The
Celisylacine.
Far Realms is things like mind flayers.
Aboleth.
Yes. And a lot of that had to do with the Celisylacine. And
Psionic stuff?
They're not mind flayers or illithid in any way, but they're from the Far Realm, and so originate from a place that, well, that's complicated.
Oh.
But they originate from a place that magic doesn't work through the weave. There is no weave there. It's a whole different sort of way of manipulating the forces of physics. Nora would actually be very interested, I think, probably in learning more about that. But yeah, Celisylacine, that's why.
We also heard about the Lord of Jaws down there.
Yeah.
If dragons hadn't been released in Campaign 1, would the Lord of Jaws still be down
He's
there?
not a dragon, my guys.
Yeah.
The Lord of Jaws is an undead Tyrannosaurus Rex that inexplicably can cast Revivify and several other spells. And so like they were worshiping this creature who has this kind of like drive to protect these small little kobolds. There's the Lord of Jaws and then the Lady of Tooth, who the aunties had on a chain outside of their hut, and there was a potential encounter if you guys had approached it a different way. And so there was a way in which if you guys had gotten the Lord of Jaws on your side, he's literally just an undead Tyrannosaurus.
Damn.
You could have like had both of them help you raid the hut or fight
You
the
avoided it
hobos.
because we thought it was a dragon.
No, I know, and that's and the kobolds 100% believe that he is a dragon. Like,
Is the lady also an undead Tyrannosaurus, or is she a living Tyrannosaurus?
undead Tyrannosaurus?
Oh my god.
We missed 2 undead Tyrannosaurus in this campaign.
No. We have gotten the bad ending for a while.
Not only that, they weren't evil undead Tyrannosaurus. They were very neutral, and like the kobolds worship them because they do protect the kobolds from the Selasilacine and other things.
Damn.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
That means
What is
Mika
the-
could eventually meet
Why-
the lady.
It means so.
because,
I will tell you guys. I will spoil this for you
Yeah.
because we're going to talk about it in about 20 minutes. Because of the events of the time of turmoil, and I'll talk about specifically what, the kobolds do have to emerge into the forest, into the kind of woods, just a little bit north of where Rockstone Home is. And so there is a world in which there's an alliance in that group, and you end up having the Lord of Jaws there. Yeah.
And we meet the lady because Billy has the
Honestly, that might be Ori's greatest achievement.
His legacy.
We can get them married! Undead
Next
Lord
time
and
we
Lady
go back,
marriage!
there's gonna be a big statue in the city. Rockstone Homes. It's
Speaking-
gonna be yuppie.
Thinking of other potential allies, I think we were in the Underdark, and there was a big the spiders and they're cheered up like a mother spider, and I think we
Yes.
thought about the idea of
Yes.
going to try to get her help against the Psilocybin and demons.
Loltor.
Tell us about Loltor? Okay.
The question specifically, which I would like to read out loud, is could we have aligned with Loltor against the Silly Beans?
So Loltor is Mother Spider. She is a huge psychic spider that trades its young with the Selasilacine to kind of be able to survive, and is very resentful of this, and is very mournful of these losses. And so really is just a very small push away, or an enabler away from being
an
a very
alliance.
potent ally. Because there's a world in which you guys fight the Selasilacine, which was like, I was hoping wouldn't happen because I have bigger plans for them.
And we can't find out about those yet, because those are campaign 4.
You'll hear a little bit about it in just a bit.
Oh, shit.
Other questions?
Damn.
So
Maybe we
back
should've burned this shit
in
out.
the Candlestick Forest, Valis freed an elf ghost at one point. So what became of her, and how did she come to be a ghost trapped in the forest in the first place?
She was freed. She like doesn't have to be a ghost anymore, which is like kind of the best possible outcome for them. And what was the second part of that question?
How did she come to be like that ghost that we came
She
upon?
died.
Yeah, but
It's literally so most, and I think there was a real way in which they died. But if I search ghost candlestick, I don't necessarily know that it's going to come.
I think this was the big ghost that we encountered after the statue where we had to walk backwards.
correct. And this was your question, Vincent. Like, how did she come?
That
to
makes
be there in the
sense.
first place?
That sounds like something
Sounds
that
like a Vincent question.
yeah.
After the statue.
Do you know about? Because is this when you met Dr. Ermichael Duzit? You guys.
I don't remember.
I remember Michael Duzit.
He was he had a big red nose and sleepy eyes. I don't know if you guys actually ever met him. He
don't
considers
think we
himself a
ever-
poor man's cleric.
I don't think we ever met him in this campaign.
He just has a whole bunch. He's maybe he was in the first campaign. I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't think we met him in this
I
campaign.
was gonna
I
say,
don't-
I would remember Michael Duzit.
Yeah, like, oh no,
Duzit,
nothing
I
over here.
believe.
No, because you met Chot Rotnick instead. That's right. The
But
bomb.
Yes.
Michael Duzit is a name I think it came
You
up
had the
in
opportunity
season
to meet one of either of them, and you went the worst one. But he didn't throw the Chot Rotnick bog balls at you, so that's pretty okay. Anyways, the ghost. It was. Do you remember about what session it was?
No, but it's not an important question. We can move on if
Okay.
it's
Yeah, we can.
She died of natural
Okay, so
causes.
still in the Candlestick Forest, was the Goliath in Candlestick like Billy? I don't remember the Goliath. That's it.
like the Goliath monk.
Also,
Yeah,
Hagley trapped.
a little bit. I would argue that there's not a whole lot of people like
Hagley
Billy,
back.
Okay.
but Yeah, like
within a contract
created by
bound
hags for
by
a similar reason.
I think the DM might know.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you
created-
say like Billy,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
So when I asked this question, I was unclear of Billy's origins. And so part of when I created Billy was like, I was just like, I don't know what Billy is. Have fun. So whenever I would ask, like, I don't know, how old is Billy? Because
homunculus or something.
so I was just asking if the Goliath was also like some kind of hag conscript or like
Hag conscript is a good way of looking at it. But like it's not like it's like a official position within the hag hierarchy. It's just
no,
so like very different
it's like the
purposes.
familiar basically.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
same employer.
Hag unpaid intern.
Yeah. That's I think a good way of looking at it.
So
Along
familiar.
Along the same lines, what happened to the yeeted hair god, and why did Ogremain yeet him?
If I remember correctly, he was invisible, I think, or stealth, and I think he was literally just surprised. But I can't remember.
No, because Billy goaded Ogremain into it.
Yeah.
Billy basically was just like, I don't care what happens to him. He works for the hags.
Oh,
Get rid of
Ogremain's
him.
also like really down to kill people. Like I don't know if this came across. Ogremain loves to fight, and so if he has an opportunity to just check somebody, he's probably gonna take
Ogremain
it.
was the goat.
Ogremain's pretty
I
good.
love
I
having
like
Ogremain.
playing
Yeah.
Ogremain.
Fuck yeah,
He was
Ogremain.
really cool until he wasn't.
Well, and the other thing that's interesting about
great.
those trans,
He's
so
always great.
Jacaranda of the Evergrove, she is responsible for one of the tears in the astral eclipse. She really,
Oh, the one that Ogremain took us to?
That's
she
right.
really missed the stars, and they're so important for the trance in terms of their life cycle. It's like one of the things that her being so old, she could remember what they were like. So she's one of the people that caused some early problems.
Was it because there was like an anchor around there and she was the one that broke it?
Yes.
What was the anchor there?
Hang on, let me find my anchors.
While you're there, just tell us all the
Ritual of
anchors.
Well, we
Okay.
know most of them, right? Because we had a map at one
The anchor
point.
was
The ones we
divided
didn't
into
break.
6. The first anchor went to the mentor, Arcanoclast Archivist Aurora Lestressel, who will keep it safe in the Arcanoclast offices of the Emerald Spire. I think you guys got that one. The second anchor was for the Priestess of Equinox Island, who will keep it safe in her temple to the stars.
The Ogi Temple.
You found that one.
Is that
We
the
didn't go
temple
there.
underwater?
Oh,
That
one.
was. You guys
I
did
was
go
thinking
there.
the Ogi
We
Temple.
definitely
Oh, no, no,
got
no,
there,
the
and
temple.
then
Okay.
Billy died.
The third was to the Scarlet Scholar, Agmarian Lokar Esaleros, who is a relative,
Cousin?
I believe
Great,
grandfather,
Brother!
to keep safe in their study in Kirlor Tel Eldar.
Oh, that's just
Mm.
Was that just like that was where
That
Lornos was going in the
That was the memory
the
loom.
memory. Yeah.
Was that the memory loom?
no, that was
No, that was.
No, Alornos
that
got
was
it in the
a
memory.
that was a memory loom. That was the one with the succubus
The succubus.
and the
is
guy
the
who kept forgetting stuff, and the relative
Shouldn't
of
be
Ori
here.
who was the ghost in the basement.
That is the one.
But was the memory loom the anchor, or was the anchor broken long before?
The anchor was broken long before. The memory loom is made out
Oh, we
of parts
didn't
of
do
the
it.
Right.
parts of it.
We didn't do it, guys.
And that was the sad man too.
A fourth
The
anchor.
sad man was your
Yes.
relative.
Yeah.
A fourth anchor was sent to the Archent, Jacaranda Evergrow, to keep safe in the secret clearing guarded by her kin. A fifth, which must be bound to the mother of all hags to keep her away. Hearsome wound this anchor into the wood of the hut that walks, and set it to sleep lest great magic cause it to stir and hide itself. And the final anchor was bound into the words of the ritual of the Feywild,
That one we broke.
where the energies of transecting
broke.
planes feed the dome, and the darkness of this place might protect it from prying eyes. But those are the anchors.
And very technically,
So
we broke it further.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter now that the other anchors are broken, but by destroying the hut, would that also destroy that anchor?
Yes, destroying the hut. Well, destroying the hut would have had.
Well, besides the other numerous consequences of that.
I feel like
Yeah.
destroying the hut would be like a nuclear bomb, considering how powerful the Mythal is.
In about 16 different places, yeah.
Well, because it's like holding all of these different planes together. So when that stops, all of those different planes are going to be like...
Something
right?
happens. And it involves 16 different dice.
Damn.
Other questions?
I don't understand this one.
Okay.
It's from the, well, I know it's from the hag house that was like in the Candlestick Forest. Was the scribbled handsome dwarf drawing and hag escape Ol Gunty? I know who Ol Gunty is, but I don't remember anything about
That
it.
also does lead to another question that I had. Because you've sprinkled throughout both campaigns now, or like both the lore. There are instances where I keep thinking maybe it's Gunter.
Yeah, it's on purpose that I do that.
Yeah, I know.
just
Are
to fuck
any
with
of
you.
those actually... Have we actually encountered...
At least several of them have been.
True
One of
Gunter.
so the only time in this campaign that was a really clear time that it happened. So you know how the bed was on fire?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Remember that the bed was
First
on fire.
party, not the second one, not you guys, but the first party that Hearson put together did include Gunter.
Oh no!
Oh my
And
god.
he was the one that set that room on fire. So if you go back, I think the intaker actually said like something about the dwarf because it was Gunter who had set that fire because he fell asleep smoking. And one of the number one causes of bed fires.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
But aside from that, there's a couple times where you heard about things relating to Gunter for sure.
Okay, but that was the only time that he's been like indirectly or semi-directly involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went to Everest looking for Morwen and did not find her there, but found a little bit of trouble to get into
That
nonetheless.
also tracks.
Talon's thing in the chat about Javaris just reminded me that something I've been dying to know is whether Javaris's intentions are as pure as Valis thought they were.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Javaris is a very complicated character.
Damn.
Javaris. I mean, what did Valis believe Javaris' intentions were?
Let's see. Well,
Being a bro, helping us out.
Maybe it's less about what Valis thought and more about what
I was
other
gonna say,
people
this
thought.
might be my question, unless it was yours.
so I
Well,
guess
I also-
before what happened in the hut, I think he just thought that he was just there just to relay information and give information and just continue to see and learn.
Mhm.
But then after what happened in the hut, I think it became clear that he wanted to become corporeal again.
We both thought that Javaris had been manipulating Valis this whole time.
No. He had not been manipulating Valis this whole time, but upon entering the hut, this is a place where he could probably spend an entire lifetime and just continue to learn stuff. And so for somebody who is almost predatory in their pursuit of knowledge,
Yeah.
it's probably not super safe to have them in there. But like they had no ill intent. They when they say Valis, who is a friend, that is a very important statement.
Ooh.
Javaris is prone to losing connections and things over time. He's been around for a very long time.
He's forgetful.
And so, well, not forgetful even. It
Well-
really is just being trapped in this box with no frame of reference really
Yeah.
is very challenging.
I guess the forgetfulness is when he starts to meander and you have
Yeah.
to roll your
Yeah.
d20 because there's just so much there.
Oh, yeah. No worries.
We've been
So
sort
much
of
knowledge.
Sorry.
scrabbling to find a way to open this frickin' bottle.
If you noticed that we were scrabbling for the last 10 minutes to open this bottle of fancy kombucha,
Vincent had a lot of
congratulations,
horrible ideas.
you win a bit.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what was in the hag package? The package in the hag's house.
The one that got exploded and taken.
Which
Wait.
one?
So the one that was given to Dora before Billy got held personed.
I very distinctly remember that it was one of the little yellow and red present minis, and we wanted it, but we didn't.
It was a note, and it said something about a signet ring, and the ring was gone.
The ring was gone. Right?
And then we tried to attack Dora, and she turned into a pile of dust.
And I think
Oh, the signet
Ori
ring
was
was
there
from
too.
the Lunarished, so it was something that was supposed to allow for a handoff to happen.
Okay.
Not like a not
Are you
something
talking
magical
about-
or
the letter with EA on it. Yeah.
But it was in like a package.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
yes. Name of the captain. Yeah.
If we had pursued the Lunarished thing, would we have eventually circled back around to Sea of Ice?
So, give me 1 second.
With Phoebe turning up.
The
Hoot,
broken
hoot.
hut.
As it were.
As it were.
As it were, well that it were.
Not in the donation chamber. We're talking about throne of walking wood. Okay. So Sea of Ice is a place that is called, I believe, the Pale Sanctum on your travel sheet. Oh, no, sorry, it's Grey Garden. So the hag that was placed in charge of that, installed sort of by the aunties, was a hag named Lysindre Rakshi. She is currently, was pursuing the auntie's ends and is now a little bit more at large.
Damn, that's all I get.
It has more happening.
I know.
So you just said EA was not at all related to Alornos?
No.
It was
Damn.
a red herring the
Yes,
whole
it
time.
was.
Was it written in red ink with a herring?
There was 3 different EAs that
herring-based
are
writing.
located around that region specifically to throw off.
So when Ellie was with the Lunarist, was that on behalf of Alornos still?
No.
Under the guise
Yes,
of...
it was under the guise, like she was going there to do Alornos' bidding, but that was already at the point where she was like, something is off. Something is going on here that is beyond, like he's disappearing and there's something going on. She knows that the Crimson Mage hasn't been seen and knows that there's more to that than what most other people know. And so, like, was also trying to peel back the layers of what was going on.
Gotcha.
Will we have another chance to go up against the Lunarist? Are they strictly in Everest?
You won't see them very much in Campaign 3. Once we get across the ocean a little bit to, actually Campaign 4,
Oh,
Codename War,
Codename
we'll be seeing
War.
the Lunarish quite a bit, I'm sure.
hey! Fuck 'em up!
Maybe.
Fuck 'em up!
Depends on how Campaign 3 goes.
No, it depends
They could be on our side.
It depends on a lot of things, but we'll get there in 4 or 5 years. Other questions?
Still in the hag house. When the hag told Alina that she'd become like her, the hag, when
Yeah.
she used the waistcoat, what did she mean?
So the hags are sort of not fae in the same way that like archfae are, but there is a strong connection between hags and the various courts of the archfae, including Sir Nunos. And all of these sort of artifacts, they change people. And there's some truth to what she was saying. Continuing to rely on something like that does change the way that you view the world and change the way that you interact with it. And it happens pretty quickly. But that never had a chance to occur.
So does that mean, so the follow-up question there is, so the hag had said, I am of his ilk. Did she mean Sir Nunos? And if so, was she referring to this kind of like similarity between hags and
Yes, yeah. Kind of to that similarity more than anything else.
Gotcha.
Does that mean that Alina turned more haggly after she left us? Or not haggly in that sense, but like...
Join the freaking hunt, my
more,
dude!
Alina joined the Wild Hunt. Alina
Yeah.
got probably the best ending that you could
Alina's
do.
an avenging angel in the Feywild.
Yeah!
But did the physical changes ever happen with the coat?
No.
Still?
No. There's other details that you didn't learn about the coat.
And you...
What details did
Would they have
learn
had
about the
mechanical
coat?
differences?
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn, that's
Yes,
crazy.
mechanically different.
Ooh, damn, that's crazy.
Damn, that is crazy.
Investigate those buttons.
And why didn't we? What would have? I mean, I missed it, but what would have
We're in curious people.
gotten us those extra features? Like, what didn't we do?
Not extra features,
Mhm.
different features. So you know how fire is destructive and kind of like rebirth. Alina very narrowly kept it more to the rebirth side. If choices had been made that had been a little bit more indiscriminate, which is truly what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, the harm spell.
Yeah, I
like-
usually cast heal instead of harm.
Oh,
Things like that.
interesting.
But even more than that, like you really didn't throw around a whole bunch of like collateral damage fireballs. You really didn't do a lot of what people traditionally do with that kind of stuff, and so
And thus I earned my place on the hunt, fair and square.
Well,
yeah, I would say so.
Would that have precluded...
what would it? Never mind.
Would that have precluded Alina from joining the hunt if
Yes.
things had gone otherwise?
Ooh.
So it was it.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a test built into it almost.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I think in the same way that, like, if you're given a role and you fail at it, you know,
Yeah.
you're not going to get elevated to a better role.
Yeah. No
Fair.
promotion.
Very
Yeah.
fair.
If you don't do your job.
Yeah.
I mean, the last writer did not do great. So, yeah. Other questions?
Who is the leader of the meritorious hand? We all were dying to know. at
I've
the
been
time.
dangling this for a while. So you didn't meet him.
It's good to...
His
But we thought it might have been the sister.
in
for a
campaign
while.
one,
Yeah.
the whole main plot was supposed to be about this missing fucking king. And if you can't actually go back because it was
That's
prior
not
to the
our
start of the
fault.
stream. There is King Orin II, who
I
people in
wasn't
Dominion
everyone.
refer to as the Quaking King because shortly after his father's
crashed
death,
the ship after going to a different planet.
He fled, leaving like this vacuum in Sarentil. And you guys were like, cool, we're going to sail right off this fucking continent. So, and when I say you guys, I mean Matt and Tina. Specifically. And when I say Matt and Tina, I mean Matt and Allie, specifically.
That one was not
us
even... Specifically, that was only Morrowind that time. Gunter was asleep and woke up to the crashing and sinking ship.
King Orin fled Dominion, traveled across the ocean to Everest, and began just trying to wanted to just basically live a normal life. He is probably the person who would have been the best king. He's like that guy who just doesn't want to do it, and thus is probably the best person for the job. And so despite the fact that he has spent the last 30 years fleeing responsibility, in Everest, seeing the way in which the magiocracy of the Rising Storm treats people who do not have magic, he was almost compelled to join this group called the Meritorious Hand, or the Meritorious Hand, or whatever they were called. And so he is the leader. He is the person who is leading this entire group. And there is a brief rebellion that takes place after campaign 2 because specifically of your guys' intervention with Ori's father and because you were able to keep him alive. It doesn't go to an all-out revolt or rebellion. It actually ends up creating some really positive change.
Hooray!
We did something okay, guys.
So yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on.
This is a different question.
I was about to move on to a different one.
Okay. T featured heavily at the bookends of this campaign,
Sure.
with the same gosh darn T woman that I'm still mad that I didn't clock.
Yeah.
Unrelatedly to the T woman, but not T itself. We were offered tea another time by the Madam of Dark Reflections.
Mhm.
And I had asked what would have happened if we treated with the Madam with tea. Because if you want to treat with the Madam in a meaningful way, because Billy attempted to do it with soul coins, but not all of them, you must sit for tea, is what you said.
Like capitalized.
here's
So
He
Madam
says,
would have
"Don't do
offered
that."
you a cup of tea to each guest, poured from an elegant, dark, sort of china vessel, and you would have realized that as you drink this tea, no matter how much you do, it doesn't diminish. The teapot is always full. And there is this illusion that is occurring that she manifests around time and space with this teapot to try to keep people sort of stuck in this state of indulgence. There are other treats that she's serving alongside of it. That's sort of the first step, is to get people kind of trapped.
Like the parents in Spirited Away.
But it really starts with choosing your chair. There was a lot of different chairs around that table, and depending on which chair you took, it transforms the way in which the chair represents a different form of power or weakness. So the chairs were arranged in response to the emotions of the people sitting in them. If somebody sat in, and I was really picturing at this particular stage, I think it was Ori and Billy bickering,
Mm-hmm.
that would have really manifested in a combat against the furniture. And then we get past the mass reflection. We get to the tea menu. So there's a couple of different teas that you could have chosen. And after you've gotten past all this kind of stuff and gotten through the tea ladies' sort of games, you would have been able to choose a tea, and the tea does something different depending on what you choose. There's the Tea of Time's Whisper, the Mist of Moonwell, Elderberry Dream Brew, And I think that's all that I had set up for her. I think I had maybe one or two more that were more for flavor. But those were the big three. What?
I said, ha, tea.
Yeah.
Flavor.
But they have a couple of different things that they could do, and I think these teas probably will. The Madam of Dark Reflections is in Mythalstrean.
Yeah, yes.
So
I mean,
I'm not going to go too far into this.
Oh no, she stole something from us. She did, not anyone else. Certainly no heroes stole anything from Mythalstrean.
Ultimately, the Tea of Time's Whisper is designed to steal a couple of years off your life.
Oh.
The Mist of Moonwell is ultimately designed to... It gives you a true vision of the future, but it borrows a little bit from that as well. And then all I'll say about the Dream Brew is just think about it in campaign 3.
Just consider.
It'll become really apparent, I think, on what I mean. But
Or I'll just forget it and it'll come back at the end of campaign 3
Talon
and I will
Elderberry
look
Dream
silly.
Brew. Just remember it. You heard it here first.
Talon, it's your job now.
Remind me every single fucking session.
When it comes up, oh, you should drink that.
So it makes me sad to ask this, but what would we have encountered in the Temple of Shar?
Oh, the Lady of Loss.
Yeah, Ori would have.
We could still go back, you guys.
We can't
Maybe
go
the
back.
door's
I'm
there
gonna leave
now.
We have lost things. We lost Selena. We can go now.
Oh, maybe she's waiting there for us.
Hooray.
But we lost the route back. Damn.
Maybe Ori did.
Wait, but doesn't Ori have a thing?
No, Ori lost it.
I lost the thing to get the way back.
Within the caverns carved out of stone, there are the series of chambers that were set up to honor Shar, the Lady of Loss. There was this outer door that looked like stalactites and stalagmites, almost closed together like teeth. The big thing there was between the teeth, there was a fine powder poison that is released when the rock is destroyed or shaped stone or mold earth is used to alter it. Because I figured that's what you were going to do. If water or fire is applied, it actually burns or dilutes the poison down and it wouldn't work. So there was some ways to get through it. Chamber 1 is all about sacrifice. It's a 30-foot long, 10-foot wide chamber with a small alcove on either side. There was a single word in Elvish that says bloat. And there was a number of statues on either side of this kind of central lane. There was a pair of beggars with outstretched hands, a pair of thieves with daggers. I think you guys got to this point.
Yeah, we saw that.
So you saw all those things. If you had been willing to sacrifice in... What language should I choose for this? Give me 1 second here. I think it was Sylvan. Elvish. So blot in Elvish means sacrifice. And there was a little thing that you could have found that read Omagnus Blot or Alma Sacrifice. And then there is another little I guess I can't talk about that. But ultimately, if you had sacrificed, if you had been willing to sacrifice things into the outstretched hands of any of these statues, you would have been allowed to go through into the next room, which is about endurance. The plate above this reads Isheltan, which is endure in Elvish. And this was going to be it's just basically a huge room full of darkness, and moving through it would have just hurt. There was no real good reason to travel through because it's just physical pain, but it's all about endurance. And you would have actually gained all that health as temporary HP at the end of the room.
Damn.
And been able to pass through the final curtains to the third chamber, which was overcome. And that is where the Aspect of Anguish, a champion of Shar, was there to test all of you. If you had defeated that individual, there was a magical item which may appear in the future. It's called the Spirit of Anguish. And that was a reward that was there. Additionally, later on, further into the campaign, a door would have appeared somewhere that would have been open to you as well. I'm trying to remember. I think it was in the monastery. But there was a place where Loss had carved another door.
In the monastery, for the
You guys remember there's a place where there was hallways that had places where like doors should be but weren't? The door would have appeared in that space. I just can't remember exactly where it was.
I think you mentioned that if we had done this temple, that it could have kept the grove of autumn up when we destroyed it, unlocking the anchor in the
with the spear, yeah.
Damn.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because there's some juicy questions here, including a note to self from you. So, like, you put yourself a note that was like, remind me, Joe, to talk about this during the thing. But first of all, on April 6, 2025, you asked us all to roll d20s, and then you said, damn, that's fitting. And we said, why? And you said, you might find out. And I said, might? And you said, just remind me and I'll tell you. However, I went back in the chat, but I couldn't find it because of that thing where we kept changing the name of the chat and creating new ones.
Damn.
So I tried really hard to find out what it was. I figured I'd bring it up to see if you remembered, but
Can you give me a date?
it was April 6, 2025, and it's around the time when the questions about tea with the madam happened.
Okay.
Alana screenshotted the chat like into the Discord with all the questions.
Excellent. Do not have. Can you remind me? Nope, that's for work. I'll have to look at a different time.
No worries.
Because that was so long ago that I don't remember.
All right. Well, in that case, here's your note to self. And this is from when we were doing stuff with Ori's sister in the temple. Reminder, explain all 4 reasons, historical, timeline, mechanical, and narrative, for the fireball Ori's sister cast in the electrophosphorus angler den.
Oh, yeah, the underwater fireball.
Right. And then Matt said, well, I may be biased, but I figured it's just collateral damage. And Joe, you said me too, but I really like the reasoning.
Oh God, I should have written down what this was. Hang on.
You also wrote to yourself, forgot the mechanical aspect of it.
Yeah.
That helps.
I know that doesn't. Okay, Phosphorus Angler Den. That was session 104. And I don't know. The big thing though was so I don't remember if Ori knew that he had the draconic lineage, but a part of that was to also give that manifesting in her for the first time, in a much more sort of powerful way. A part of it also was really to plant the seeds of like infernal. This is something that is infernal and important to like consider fire, but Alina threw me off a little bit on that because her whole theme became fire, and so I had to figure out a different way to balance it out a little bit. But it worked out fine. It worked out okay.
Speaking of powers, in the Ori family, what would Ori's powers have been from the infernal contract if it had gone through as planned?
Ori would have become a sorcerer.
Motherfucking
High-level
sorcerer!
Did you know that, Matt?
I mean, it's obvious.
Would have been like a homebrew
Like,
subtype.
if
You
I
meant it was like a
became-
blood sorcerer. A blood
Yeah.
sorcerer.
So I have loose.
If I got magic, it would be.
I have
true
loose, sort of like rough outlines for the class because I wanted to have it ready for like if I create an NPC, I want them to have powers that scale realistically to PC, so it doesn't feel like unrealistic. And if you could figure out how to like reverse engineer them, you could also gain advantages that way. But yeah, it's blood sorcery, and I would say it's very similar to Blood Hunter, but with no emphasis on melee and a lot more on risk and reward.
So we really could have been completed the Oops All Caster party makeup.
I don't know if Ori would have
Look,
stayed
we're
with the
close in
party if
campaign
that was
3
the
also.
outcome, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Me never cast magic.
I think this is most important for everyone at this table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patty stole a thing.
Patty successfully returned the thing.
Yes!
It was an idol to the
See?
Grung Storm goddess,
I
and
knew I could trust
it genuinely kept the reins of that area at bay in a way that like fundamentally altered the landscape. And it would have been really hard to occupy. If you remember, like, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where they flood the... that was, like, not far off. Well, because the Tyrant's Peninsula is elevated relative to the rest of the gem land. So, like, when that overflows and kind of starts coming down through the fossils, it becomes
Everything's
it's bad.
And hey, if there's ever a drought in that area, Patty knows what to do.
Yep.
Patty is now the master raid.
I like Patty because Patty, he had this whole like stash in his basement, but like it was far too much stuff for him. He was genuinely stockpiling for the community. He's decided that he's going to keep everybody safe because they're too dumb to do it otherwise.
I don't think I was there when y'all recruited Patty into the commune, but how did that happen?
He was bad guy number 3 in the country.
It was actually great because it was
so dumb.
Ori convinced this group of bandits not fucking...
Not a group.
It was a couple people.
It was like episode 5. It was
okay.
It was a much
I was there for when Ori did a group of bandits, but he did that multiple times.
So Yuppel was the first one, if you're thinking of Yuppel, because
maybe I'm thinking of Yuppel.
Oh, we had some bandits on the road, and you convinced them to join the thing, but I don't think Patty was in that one.
No, Patty was in the city.
Patty was in the Dire Crow camp.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was the last one in the Dire Crow camp.
Yep.
We killed all of them. Except Patty.
And then Ori convinced
Turn your fucking
him.
life around, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
and he
have
was
to kill
like,
you.
okay.
I was literally like, there's a village that I started. You
I
can
think
go
he had a
there.
natural 20 on that.
That's incredible.
This grung is really pathetic and needs
But
our help.
Roxanne probably wouldn't have survived without him. So ultimately, very helpful.
Nice.
For the greater good.
Building community.
I'm keeping an eye on the time.
Yep.
If anybody, I sent everyone the document. If there's anything in there that you really want asked, cool.
I had one, but I lost
I have
it.
a really Minka specific one.
Sure.
Yes.
So when we visited home for the first time, so Minka's home, we went back to the Lost Enclave. There was a couple of different cavern routes we could have gone, and we basically chose a dragon door, right?
Yep.
But there was also a portal to the cold portal with the lantern.
the Stygian lantern.
The Stygian lantern. Sorry, my brain kept
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
where, the
That
miner
was on
died.
there. Yeah,
Stygia.
what would have happened if we had lit
if
the
we had
lantern?
gone, if we had gone that way instead.
Yeah.
That is what, 67?
Yeah, around there.
How do you know?
Stream.
Sounds
That
right.
sounds
By the
right.
vibes.
By my mental timeline, the 60s sounds right. So I have no idea which 60s.
Your brain is good.
My brain is weird. Good weird. It remembers things in the strangest fashion.
So that was in the commune, right?
It was in the commune, and it was before we left. Basically, we were investigating all the different collapses and all the different disappearances and weird mines that had people were.
What is the name of the commune? I have to find
The Lost Enclave.
Lost Enclave. That's why I'm looking for the wrong word.
Yeah.
Lost Enclave. There we go. Enclave of the Lost.
Yeah.
All right.
Enclave, yeah.
Let me find
Kainoff's
the people
Lost.
tracker here.
Well, now it's Kane. Well, it was
Buildings.
Kane's Lost. Now it's
Just the
Not-
Lost Enclave.
Well, yeah, Enclave of the Lost technically, but the whole religion that never really came up all that much, but inspired a lot of what Minka did all campaign. So
I'll have to find the specific thing for it, but basically, in the commune, there were two people who decided that they were going to get rich. They dug a mine, and they found some gold, and they were like, "We're just going to get really rich." And things got kind of weird in that mine, in Minus's mine.
yes, that's on.
Minus.
And so Minus and Maserat Ailshorn both dug this mine out, and basically, unbeknownst to them, started to become influenced by Stygian forces. There is a Stygian portal that is left over from the Enclave of Light, which precedes the Enclave of the Lost.
Is that the one we encountered?
No, this is even before, I think Lot is probably the last person who remembers it. And even remembers it from stories, probably was not alive during it, I don't think. that portal was part of the reason that many of the Star Elves originally left. When that happened, it caused kind of a schism, and the people who were part of this Enclave of Light, many of them stepped beyond the stars. These people include an individual linked to Morwyn's past. There is a Star Elf who is connected to Morwyn. Morwyn was originally a Panther familiar to the Star Elf, and the Star Elf had, during Campaign 1, actually peered through the veil and briefly had been able to see Morwyn. That was because of the damage that Jacaranda did to the Grove. Otherwise, it would have been impossible. So yeah, a lot of connections in the Star Elves across a couple of different places. Actually, Shay's backstory ties to the Star Elves pretty intimately as well.
Maybe that's a great segue to a final question about Druxa. So we had, while we were playing Campaign 2, at some point we had the essentially finale one-shot for Campaign 1. What would the Wandering Hearts have faced if Druxa had escaped the ship?
Oh boy. So, if Druxa had escaped the ship, the Wandering Hearts would not have probably been impacted by that. Because you guys never ended up pursuing the Star Elves, who, very interesting allies, and would have created a conundrum in the Divine Court, actually. But if they had come back, and if you had kind of made the connections, there is a world in which they just simply would not have been there. Not because they were all dead or anything, but for other reasons. At his heart, Druxa is immensely in love with Imianthe, this person beyond the veil. And the whole reason that he did everything that he did was to try to get to her. And it may have seen maybe a bit of a redemption arc for Druxa, if such a thing were possible, but we'll never know.
All right. Last question, because it's one from the chat. No, Vincent, go first.
I have 2 more questions.
Okay,
how much time do we have left?
We have
Because
time.
I can.
We have
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Only just after 8. We got time.
Yeah.
Two.
Just going on the time limit.
And you can summarize this, but
Sure.
I think at one point we were walking through the Tyrant's Peninsula, and you were talking about how the undead underneath for controlling or enslaving the fire elementals, and this was never gonna happen. But Valis was like, I want to go down there and deal with that. I know we got other stuff going on. What could have happened if we had taken that route?
Billy would have left.
So you're talking about the Charred Forest.
The Charred Forest, correct.
It was given over to Spitemaker Auron, who is a human necromancer. They used spite to power their undead and allow them to roam free in the Charred Forest. So you would have encountered Ash Revenants. You would have encountered Blazing Bones Golems. You would have encountered Pyre Spirits of the Forgotten. The environmental elements of Ash-Choked Winds, Burning Shadow Vines, and Cinder Shroud Traps. I got there. Then you would have made your way to Auron's Hollow, which is a magma tube beneath the roots of the Charred Forest. This is where Auron has, over the last year, sort of fortified with obsidian and soul-forged iron, this sort of small base. And you could have just laid siege to the base, fought some undead dudes, slain this really bad guy, and leveled up.
Good thing we didn't do any of that.
What would there have been any other benefits, any allies or anything that we could have helped us with the hags if we had done that?
You would have potentially had access to the Maw tribe, who might have turned their back on Glacial Duneth and joined you. But that would have been an additional thing beyond.
Gotcha.
We gotta go help them to help.
So it's just a level up side quest?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Second
Well,
question.
we probably wouldn't have long rested anytime soon after that anyway.
As we want to do, yeah. I think you, at one point, you mentioned when we were leaving the Josh Razier's crib.
That's the formal title.
I think there was the portal to
Stygia.
yeah, and I think you said that Valis would have had the most reason to go down there,
Oh, yeah.
and no idea what you meant. What did you mean?
Tantalin is one of the most notable cities in Stygia. It's the 5th level of Baator, which is the name for the 9 Hells. And Tantalin is a floating fortress, icy sort of stronghold. Going through the portal would have led you into a place there called the Veiled Alcazar, which is a sort of library of contracts. Across the street from that place is the Scrivener Works of Centuries, where one Razit Molar was employed, and unfortunately was tempted into servitude by chocolate. The Scrivener Works of Centuries is where memories were processed. And Valis had memories still stored there at that time. Also would have been able to track the rest of the memories from the Diviner's Rod with him.
Okay. Very good.
Would those have led back to...
The Lunaris Guild?
Well, ultimately it would be the Austenlock, right?
Yeah. Ultimately would have led to the Austenlock. And also it would have... Valis and Rez were very connected in a lot of ways. And so when you pitched me Valis' story for the memory loss, I was like, this is perfect. So like Rez, part of why Rez didn't want to regain his memories is because he understood that there was something in that memory loss, also relating to Valis, that he felt a little bit guilty about. And that gross feeling is something that he understood that there was something that he would have to do if he regained his memories. He would have had to betray Alina. That was something that was almost hardwired into him from an infernal contractual nature. And there were parts where he had actually tried to tempt Alina into some less than desirable behavior, but ultimately Alina really won him over. And
Cheshire saved your life by refusing to give the memory back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gave him plausible deniability of
honestly,
his obligations.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of understood that, like, he had a little bit more freedom than he was supposed to, and, like, genuinely treasured that.
Was that, as a result, were his memories, rather, I guess, when Rez switched ownership in the familiar realm.
Rez did not switch ownership in the familiar realm.
So is he still technically under ownership of Diatre?
No, he was never a familiar of Diatre.
He was captured.
He was a trap.
Okay.
I learned that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He was going to go, they're in here!
Damn. But instead he
Valis
became our
ultimately
buddy.
retrieve all of his memories, or are there still some lost?
Almost all of them, yeah. I think there's probably a few just like on the floor somewhere that snapped off the loom. But like, yeah.
Oh,
His
damn
favorite
it.
cookie recipes.
Yeah.
No.
I remember I hate carrots.
What have I been doing this whole time?
The Hall of Failed Bloodlines.
Yeah.
What were the things that were attacking us?
Was Ori daddy?
Ori daddy.
when they were crying out to Father, who were they calling
Those
to?
were
They
what are
almost
called
sacrificed
icebound
the
wretches.
Mhm.
And so they were, that was called the ritual room. Those were the souls sacrificed to feed the ritual.
Okay.
And all of them fed to try to empower these sort of pseudo-Oris in the hall beyond. And so they, in their sort of like undead state, sensed you as like Isoleros, and really like we're sort of there to paint the picture that he had done all this. I didn't want there to be too much sympathy for him, even though I wanted there to be a tiny bit, because I ultimately think that like
Bad guy.
he did bad things. I am not convinced that he is a bad guy.
Well, it's.
I think the party was on board with that because nobody like truly wanted to murder him if there was a way to avoid it.
No.
Yeah.
Billy wanted to
It
murder
worked out
him,
as-
but I
as
think
good
most
as
of us
possible.
just wanted a
But
resolution.
that's just Billy's kind of default attitude
No, I
towards
think
people.
especially after. it
Do
was
you have a
revealed
problem with this
how
person?
much
Do we
the
need to kill them?
infernal, element was like kind of orchestrated
Yes.
even
Yes.
before his kind of.
Yeah.
It was kind of fortuitous for the devils that he was looking into that magic, because then it was like, oh, cool, easy mark.
Yeah, for sure. But he was going to do bad stuff to
Oh, he
get
was
you guys
probably gonna
power
do
no
bad
matter
stuff
what.
anyway.
Yeah.
Bad stuff had already happened.
Bad stuff to bad guy.
I mean, he
Wait.
contracted with the Stark bites to try to get like exotic
I was going to
materials
ask
and
too,
stuff.
because
The consequences.
Ori had been under the impression that the Stark bites were kind of like a rival household.
Never know.
But then the more we kind of learned that never really came up much more, but when the Stark bites were mentioned, it always seemed like there was more of a like
The Stark
business
Bites are on the
relationship or
surface
something?
because they fled the prosecution of one Grey Lady. And that's why they're not in the Underdark, which is very atypical for Duergar. There is a part of them that would like to return. And so their deal with Isolaeros is really to arm them for a coming war that they are very aware is coming.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is the elf shopkeeper Talonnail still alive and running a shop?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Indeed.
They're
That
gonna
was the
live
one
forever.
question in the chat.
It's a bookshop.
Until
It's a
Gunther
very.
shows
It's
up.
honestly one of the nicer bookshops I would say in Alberon at this point. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
there's a one shot where I was
Nora's
going to throw
excited.
him in there, and you guys were going to completely walk by him, but he was there.
That would have hurt Talon so bad.
It mostly hurts me.
Oh no!
Any other questions?
I think we might want to move on.
Okay.
Yeah, I had another one.
Based on the timeline you said you wanted
Okay.
to follow, it might be time to move on.
So, give me just one moment. There will be time, I'm sure, for other questions. But let me move into a little bit of a recap and explanation for the world of Alberon. So the world of Alberon,
Don't forget to go big so you can clip it.
I can, you guys can all be part of it. It's fine.
Sorry.
The world of Alberon is my homebrew setting to run adventures in. The biggest thing that kept me from running D&D for years, part of it, obviously just judgment. You don't want people to call you a nerd when you're little. But a big part of it was I didn't want to mess up people's lore. D&D is a place where when you look into the Forgotten Realms, there's thousands of years of history. There are factions and intricate things, and I was really worried that I would say, like, you guys walk into the city, you see birds flying overhead, and then I would turn the page, and it would say that, like, in the great bird plague of all the birds had died. Now I fucked up the whole story. So to get around that, the easiest thing to do was to create an entire planet with 6,000 written years of history. So that's what I did.
Obviously.
This history is divided into 3 recorded ages that span approximately 3,000 years apiece. Alberon is a place that has seen the rise and fall of globe-spanning powers. It has experienced geological upheaval, and even places where wounds in the fabric of reality cause planar crossings. This... I forgot to bring down my map. Oh, sorry, but I'm going to edit it in post. This is Alberon. Oh no, my friends, they're gone. This is Alberon. It
Replaced by a
is
continent.
the very best that I could do at drawing Alberon in the year 1470 of the Third Age, also known as the Age of Civility. It is how the world was prior to the events of our first campaign. The first campaign
Why do you say it like
largely featured the continent of Dominion as a setting. This is where humans emerged onto the planet, where some of the last remaining dwarven coals or citadels still thrive, and a place with less magic than most of the rest of the planet. Across the sparkling green waters of the Emerald Expanse, we have the continent of Everest, where Campaign 2 took place. Everest is a place where the membrane between the material plane and the Feywild is especially thin, with the cities of Epiphany, Novistock, Petrichor, and Uhex all phasing between the Feywild and Everest regularly. It is here that the elves of the Emerald Spire rule the Gemmed Coast, while the magiocracy of the Rising Storm undergoes vast political changes in the wake of the events of Campaign 2. South, across the boiling ocean, is the settling for Campaign 3, the supermassive continent known as Mythalstrean, easily the largest continent in our setting. And in fact, I have right here a little map. Stick that on the table.
Map.
Careful of the bottles, you have to thread the needle there.
Nailed it.
Mythalstrean is a supermassive continent, easily the largest continent in our setting. I'll talk a little bit more about it in just a second, but the most important thing to know is that Mythalstrean is a continent with a living spirit called the Spirit of Mythalstrean that resists most attempts to civilize it, and the deals that were made with infernal forces to allow a few key points of light to thrive in this dangerous place still have ramifications today. Across the vast Templanon Ocean to the northeast lies the Kimpet Islands, 2 large islands separated by the Marlow Strait. The Kimpet Islands are suffused with seams of quartz through its underdark regions that resonate with magic, forming a vast, invisible grid of hexes across the land, and the setting of a hex crawl campaign that will come in the future. West across the Magebane Sea, just before reaching Dominion, is a collection of islands known as the Sunrest Islands. Nominally ruled by the extension of the Anacrean Alliance on Mythalstrean, those born on the Sunrest Islands have a propensity to be sorcerers of a particular ilk of magic. Due north across the storm-capped oceans is the Ald, once the largest continent on the planet, now plunged mostly beneath the ocean. Above the waters, the subcontinent of Tanakh, the halfling kingdom of Tenderstone, and the undead Morsinsency of Gath all fight against pirates, sea giants, and worse, as untold treasures lie at the ocean's floor. And then west, across the Channel of Soot, is our final continent, Ganon. This is the home of the dragons, and was once the seat of the mighty Phazarakian Skald, a dragonborn empire that spanned much of Alberon before their fall at the end of the Second Age. Each of these continents is designed for a very different style of campaign. The first campaign, the largest sandbox you could imagine, and then kind of moving forward from there.
Never again.
Never again. So it began on Dominion, but campaign 1, it was truly the first D&D campaign I ever ran. And so I made it too large of a sandbox. At one point, there was 9 potential big bads in the campaign, all witting or unwitting servants of Azra, the goddess of rot. Our heroes for campaign 1 began as the ill-named Finger Gang, despite multiple chances to rebrand. This included Shay, a monk from the Zinni order that lived in
Probably the one actual hero.
played by Tina. It included Gunter, a con-man turned cleric dwarf, played by Matt. Morwen, a black tabaxi swashbuckler with a heart of gold, played by Ali. And Heinrich, a tiefling warlock who had a pact with Azra, played by my friend Miles. This chaotic group fought against the assembled souls of the Midnight Assembly. They broke a dragon siege on the dwarven citadel of Kol Taram. They sailed across the sea against my wishes to the Sunrise Island and lost Gunter in the process, who was replaced by elvish artificer Akka, played by Matt. When real life called Ali and Miles away, Heinrich and Morwen were lost to the Feywild. But luckily, the party would happen upon a gnome lost to time in a barbarian named Brenna, played by Hannah, with additional help from treant-turned-human Oakfeld, played by our friend Dan, and the swashbuckling merchant captain Eleanor Windwright, played by Alana. They traveled to the demi-planar prison of Calypsos, where they had their final confrontation with the mind-flayer Lich Zystris, who has been responsible for the surge of rotting undead across the continent. After vanquishing Zystris and Shay's uncle, the Madjaruxa, the campaign ended. Akka continued on with the Dungannon Antiquities Collective in the place of Drea, his dragonborn mentor, who left to fulfill the mysterious pledge she had taken on after learning that dragons had returned to the plane. Shay took on the mantle of Master of Watch for the Zinni, and with the wise listener Gamble and lorebinder Boron at her side, formed a powerful alliance of knowledge and discipline that will further stabilize Dominion for years to come. Brenna rose to the rank of champion of the people in the gladiator ring of the Modrock, known from shore to shore as Brenna the Axe, and joined the Blood Moon Goliath lycanthropes. Eleanor gained both wealth and status as a hero, but something in her heart called her home, like the threads of fate twisting through her veins. Oakfeld traveled north across the shifting ice and toward the Ald to bring the All-Faith to those who might listen.
The Ald, huh?
And then we flash forwarded 10 years to Campaign 2, the campaign that we just finished, and I narrowed my scope a little bit. I also had learned through the Starfinder campaign that I ran that it helped for the party to have a manager. For this reason, the heroes of this party were hand-picked by the Archfey Hearsome, the Prince of Fools, to investigate a murder with potential ramifications on the Fey-enforced Treaty of Four Seasons. Known as the Wandering Hearts, they were Ori, an elvish rogue born to a family known for magical ability in the magiocracy of the Rising Storm, where magic meant everything, played by Matt. Valis, an Eladrin paladin who came to the group a little bit late and without a memory, played by Vincent. Cheshire, a chaotic bard boiling over with pink energy who saw the strands of fate and manipulated them as if they were real, played by Tina. Billy, a Hagspawn bardlock, with ties to the Aunties 3, but an equally strong bond to another member of the party.
My roommate.
This party member was Alina, a fiery satyr warlock who eventually became the champion of Cernunnos and sacrificed herself to join the Wild Hunt and break the pact tying Billy to the Aunties. Alina was played by Hannah. She was replaced by Phoebe, the Owlin sorcerer who revealed that Hearsome had put a parallel team together to deal with the consequences should the Wandering Hearts fail. Finally, Minka, the Genasi Circle of Stars druid who lived much of her life never seeing the sky. Hailing from the Lost Commune, she was tied to the astral eclipse that clung to the night sky like a baffling blanket, and she was played by Alana.
She lived under a literal rock.
The Wandering Hearts began investigating a simple murder that slowly unraveled a plot that spanned the continent. A group known as the Fracturing were attempting to break the containment field around the fallen Obsidian Spire, where the partial failure of an interdimensional prison caused the entire crystalline city to fall almost overnight when its denizens raged free. This plot brought them into conflict with fire giants, evil scholars, misled soldiers, and beneath the Underdark, far worse in the form of the creations of the Celestiocene. They fought multiple hags, each with a slight increase of power given to the Aunties, unbeknownst to the party across the campaign. You fought infernal forces from the Lord of the Fifth, Levistus, who fought to help his champion, Ori's father, win. You fought against the Aunties themselves in the hut that walks, and thwarted, for now, the return of Baba Yaga. And eventually rose together to defeat Ori's infernalized father, himself breaking the infernal ritual that bound the continent to an illness that slowly harvested their souls. The party was victorious, and even managed to keep Alornos alive. Though in ending the astral eclipse, the Wandering Hearts have begun a time known in Everest as the Time of Turmoil, as several greater evils are freed from the Spire.
Not all the great evils.
The vampire faction of Lord Castragas has risen, and looks to assemble their lord's armor, the set of plate mail known as the Blood Casket, to make him nigh invincible once more. Partially thwarted by a post-campaign Valis Birchbelow in non-violent fashion, a group of wayward scholars were convinced to stop their attempts to free Padme Clive from the Spire, though the fire Genasi scholar Jaren Clade would not listen and vanish soon after.
Non-violent doesn't track for me.
The Death Knight of Thay, dispatched to collect their brethren shielded from the Red Court's eyes by the astral eclipse, fell to shadows around the dome. He still guards the boundaries of the dome until its eventual fall, at which point he will be free once more. Beneath the Underdark, the army that crawls arrived beneath Everest. Minka could not keep her commune hidden for long, but she did not need to. The spindly Uncle Icarus, a stilted scarecrow-like figure, expressed his gratitude for rescuing his scouts from the Celestiocene. He expressed that the Grey Lady desired to stop this force, and then withdraw from this region. But he promised the Middle World would always be protected by the Grey Lady, and she would make her way there eventually, so that all could join the Dark family.
That's fine.
This is right for Minka's plot.
As 17 years pass between campaigns 2 and 3, there are some notable things that all of you have some input on. In the Magiocracy of the Rising Storm, the meritorious hand go to the negotiation table after a brief rebellion when Alornos Isoleros, with support from the Crimson Mage and delegates from the Emerald Spire, and by the start of Campaign 3, have begun laying the framework for the Magiocracy's transition into the Stormborn Republic. Ori would be offered a chance to join the process as an advisor. Would Ori accept?
Who would be asking?
This would be...
Would be my boss.
Are you a cop?
Not a boss, so you wouldn't have a boss. You'd be there purely as an advisor, and it would be... Hearsome would be the first person to recommend you, but your father would ask as well.
So I guess follow-up question. Dad is back in a position of power?
Not a position of power, almost like an ambassador. This is somebody who, having seen what blind pursuit of magical power can do, is advocating for the transition from a magiocracy to a republic, where there is a voting body.
He's been through that therapy.
I know there's a question for her, but so the father's alive. Is he still like infernalized, or has he been like uninfernalized?
He still appears infernalized.
Okay.
But was able to come out of the magically induced coma?
After about a year.
Okay.
He might have been therapized?
I certainly hope so.
So would you
Dream
accept-
therapy.
How long after? Within the 17 years, roughly?
Probably within like a 10-year time frame.
Probably would then.
Okay. So, we know that Ori takes up a position within the Stormborn Republic, especially as it begins, and should you all interface with the Stormborn Republic, we'll likely see some influence there. The Ausenlock, corrupt at its heart, was completely overhauled by the Crystalline Council after even those who would simply allow the corruption to spread were brought to justice. And in the wake of this, Hearsome would nominate Valis to be one of the new Arcana class.
Hey,
Oh.
you got promotion, buddy.
Would he accept?
Would you accept promotion, buddy?
What are the responsibilities of the Arcana class?
Hearsome
I need a job title. I need a job description.
Very specifically, Hearsome would say something along the lines of, Valis, I simply don't care. Because this is sort of the last thing he needs to do before he can go back to the Feywild.
He would accept.
He mostly just wants somebody to, and he trusts you. This is a big mark of trust with Hearsome. And the mark is not that he trusts you to be a good guy, that he trusts you to do any of those things. It is that you will maintain a peace that will allow him not to come back. And he can continue to just enjoy doing things the way that he likes to.
Makes sense.
Valis would accept.
So
You're the
Valis,
reason Hearsome was so drunk at Noble Vale.
in accepting this position, you would be one of 3 of the founding members of this new Arcana class, and you would have some sway over who gets invited. And so we'll talk more about that between campaigns. Cheshire.
Yes.
Cheshire walked along the strings and found her way to a ship with wings. She paid for her trip with a smile and sheen and found her way to Mythalstrean, where something sings to a different tune. Perhaps we'll learn more of her soon.
Is Cheshire gonna be a...
Billy. Now in possession of most of the hut that walks.
60%.
You would eventually find that most of the missing portion is located in the Kimpet Islands and does not want to be recaptured. The hut cannot travel out of the Kimpet Islands in its damaged state, and so it's easy enough to find, but it truly is one hut on legs chasing another hut on a single leg, and it's just as fast. It's not terribly fast either way. But, Billy, you would be able to reunite the hut if you wish. What is your ultimate goal? Billy, you uniquely have access to one of the most powerful magical artifacts known to be in existence in the world.
So Billy's ultimate goal with the hut is to completely dismantle this fucking thing.
Okay.
Realizing that the Mythal itself cannot be dismantled, is trying to figure out, in essence, how Baba Yaga is tied to the hut and to break that connection so that Baba Yaga cannot return through the hut.
Okay. There are 2 paths that Billy might be able to take, and we'll talk more about that between the campaigns. Good stuff. Yes.
Question for things like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if there was a possibility of the magiocracy helping in that situation,
Yeah,
Ori
absolutely.
would want to advocate for that.
Absolutely. So I'm going
Are
to talk
there-
with Kara about that.
Yeah.
I'll talk with
You have my
Vincent
nerds.
about the other thing.
Essentially.
In the Discord, we'll post what the outcome is so that if other people have ways that they want to help, they can certainly do
Same
that.
with I think Valis and Ori would probably want to work
yeah,
together.
We're
absolutely.
all best buds.
We'd all
at
want
this
to.
point.
I want us to all stay together.
Phoebe.
Hoot hoot.
With some time to learn more of the Wandering Heart's adventures, you learned that the place from which you had made your fateful journey was a place that Billy's hut could travel to. The hut itself was a powerful piece to the puzzle of how you became how you are. So knowing that, what would you do next?
I would ask Billy if she would take me with her. I would help her. Maybe
New
she would help you
roommate.
in some things.
Okay. So we'll pick that up as part of what Billy ends up doing, because I think it will also depend on...
Owl!
Rebound is a rebound.
Oh my god!
Only
it's
if
like a
Billy
rebound
wants her
for a
to, though, because I
rebound
know it might be
rebound,
weird for Billy.
'cause-
Billy's just bouncing all over the place.
I think at this point, Billy is attempting to grow and become just better, but also realizes, damn, all my peeps gotta do other things, and I do need help with the house. Fine, as long as you don't touch anything without asking first.
That will not be a problem.
Easy enough.
Wings
I
don't
do
touch
not have
things.
hands.
Finally, Minka,
Huh?
the rare diplomacy of the Wandering Hearts
Ah.
allowed you to turn the tide of the coming war in the Underdark away from the commune.
Hey.
But even as the horrifying Uncle Icarus left with his army of Driders, hearing that all would eventually join the Dark family was likely not exactly comforting. On top of this, you began to have vivid dreams of elves who dream in crystalline coffins in the darkness of the astral sea, and they, you suspect, have begun to dream of you.
Uh-oh.
And you know, instinctively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that within this dream lies a certain baleful eye.
Aww.
What would you do with that?
Minka.
Help me break a house.
So, I think the first thing Minka would do would be she would attempt to turn the Enclave into a Druid's Grove.
Okay.
Just to help layer another level of protection to them, because she knows that she cannot stay forever.
Roll a d20 at advantage. This is such an easy thing to figure out right now. The other ones are a little bit more complex.
I'm so glad that I gave you an easy one, and I'm so glad I'm going to use these dice that hopefully will roll well. On Tina's die, I got a natural 20.
Minka rolls well for the first time!
This is a very important die.
Yeah.
Right?
Over the course of the first 2 years, you successfully establish a Druid's Grove within the Commune of the Lost and find that perhaps the Commune is a little bit more protected than it was before. Outstanding gameplay, just like Hannah said. And we'll pick up on
yeah.
that. Actually, is going to that.
Complicates things.
Take a break. We gotta go rewrite a bunch of shit.
It inadvertently puts the Commune in the crosshairs a little bit more
Damn
of the
it.
Celestial, but
Wrench!
that's because
Counter wrench.
this is going to be a place in the Underdark that can now really blossom, and beyond just being a place that people go to hide and to become unknown, people can go there and start again. And that is something that is very attractive, but also means, because there will be resources coming in and goods and people who know how to do things, both the Celestial and the Grey Lady are going to want the allegiance of the Commune.
We should.
But that is a problem for a different decade.
We should establish diplomatic relations between Rockstone Home and your new grove.
It's a distance.
Could be underneath it.
Further north, with the loss of the Aunties, Glacial Duneth and their war host crossed the Tongue of Fire and the Deadwater Channel to Ganon to the north, leaving a scorched, desolated, and depleted landscape across the Tyrant's Peninsula. But even in the scorched remains of the earth, tiny hands have begun to explore ways out of the increasingly dangerous Underdark. And a new tyrant emerges as the Lord of Jaws leads their kobold charges to the bold new world above. In the Gemmed Lands, Rockstone Home thrives with the patronage of members of the Wandering Hearts. They form strong relationships with the Jaws clan of kobolds to the north to form a strong and very tiny and very cute trading relationship. To the south, the egg cracks to reveal that it was just a stone. And a decades-long war between Grung and goblins abruptly and awkwardly ends.
And then they join and become a new member of Rockstone
I want
Halls.
to finish.
And that brings us to the year 1500 of the Third Age, to Campaign 3, and to A Tale of 12 Gems. And we will jump into what Campaign 3 will look like after we step away for a quick break, because it is 8:30, and this is a great place to do so. When we come back, I will give you a super brief description of Mythalstrean, and then we'll have a tiny, tiny, tiny little half session set in the past of the Mistridge Misfits. So thank you for joining us so far. We will be back at the end of the countdown on your screen. We'll see you then. And welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to D&D.
We've been here
You're
the
a
whole
part
time.
of it now.
Just waiting for you.
We're going to jump right in to the 0.5 session of Campaign 3. For those of you keeping score at home, it is Summertide the 4th in 1495 TA. It is about 7 p.m. in this summer evening. The tavern that you travel to sits on the Anacreon Low Road. The road here is wide and disciplined. Pale blocks fit together tightly, drainage channels cut deep, and milestone pylons bearing the seal of the Anacreon Alliance in the ground every 100 paces or so. Let me turn the music down just a scoop.
Is that what that was for?
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Beyond the stone's edges, the jungle surges immediately. You can see massive leaves, creeping vines, and the constant insect hum pressing in as if listening. You can see off and to the side across this space. A second here. Through the bits of leaves that are pushed aside, you follow a man who is dressed in bright clothes. You can see golden curls spilling across the shoulders as they look back over you. It's almost like sunset falling across their shoulders. These bright green eyes, framed by bronze skin splashed with freckles. This is Serax. They turn, and looking at all of you, they say, "We're nearly there, my delightful band of misfits, and I promise you, on my heart and word, the first round will be on me." And he turns around, and for just a moment, as you clear the brush of a particularly overgrown twist in the road, there is a flash of white that glints off the pale enamel of Serax's fiddle case, always on their back. And when your eyes readjust, you can see before you, just across the street, the somewhat infamous Sunken Refrain. This is a tavern that Serax had asked for all of your help in. This is not the safest place to perform, but a place where many people traveling along this road do have a little bit of coin to give away, and a place that Serax has made a couple of pieces in the past. This tavern structure is squat and sturdy, constructed from the red-brown local stone, faced with older infernal masonry that bears fire and wing motifs and accents. Through the dark door frame of a very small space, which is almost entirely dominated by the bar itself, the other half, just two tables that could seat two people each, though nobody in that kind of table space. The bar has no stools. There is just several colorful bottles that sit behind the barkeep themselves. And Serax kind of pauses at this, waiting for all of you to emerge from the brush. Who pops out first?
I think Ralph would. I think she would just be over waiting and just be like, "All right, what are we doing?"
Can you describe Ralph?
So out pops a tall and at this point probably pretty lanky tiefling woman. She has very bronzed skin, bronze eyes, two horns upon her head. They look similar to like deer nubbins, but they're not particularly large. She has deep black purple hair, and as it goes down, it slowly fades into that like warm purple color as the sun has bleached it out. She keeps her hair at this point pretty back, and it has like some organized chaos to it. A long tail with some bony growths coming out of it, and generally a stern and grumpy appearance. Comes out, folds her arms, and it's like, what are we doing?
Serax looks at you and says, "Well, I know the owner, and this is a place where all of you can drink for free while you support me in my efforts."
Do these efforts involve a fight?
Hopefully not.
Okay.
But that's why you're all here, just in case.
Okay.
I'm really meaning for you more to rev up the crowd.
Crashing out from behind the...
I was gonna crash out
from underneath, like, someone who's much bigger and behind her. Crushing out. How's that? She's crushing. She's being crushed.
Me not know me own strength, be sorry.
Is a similarly kind of lanky, bronze-skinned tiefling girl, similar deer nubbins, but this time instead of both being complete, one is broken. But rather than standing up a little bit tall and straight, this one's got a bit of a slouch. And very clearly related. As Nora kind of like tumbles out from the brush. There we go. Nora Flara looks over and says, well, I hope we're not getting too rowdy and fighting because I don't want to miss your performance, Serax. You're going to do great.
Don't you worry, my dear. I'll make sure that nobody interferes with you. And their gaze lingers on you just a little longer than your sibling.
Nora is happy. There's like a ear-to-ear grin and just like a little bit of like, eh.
And then there is a crash from the brush.
And out from behind Nora crashes a huge Goliath woman. Her name is Tonki. She's like 7 feet tall, I think we agreed, maybe even a little higher. She's incredibly muscular. And her purple skin is covered in this white runes that sort of blend in a little bit, but if you were to look closely, you would see them. And she sort of crashes out of the brush in Nora's wake, and then she stops and looks around and is like, "Oh, me thought we were running now. Me sorry. Serax, me forgot me special mug."
Don't you worry, Tonki, my dear. I made sure they had something special just for you.
Thank you, Serax.
Just don't touch any of the other mugs until you get your special one.
Me will wait for you to tell me which one is mine.
He turns and kind of looks. Is anybody else coming?
Behind Tonki. Doesn't really come crashing out because he's too short for the brush to actually be in his way. So he walks out from the brush. Comes a short goblin, shorter than compared to goblin standards, is Grimgob. Grimgob is a goblin with dark green hair. He has long, dark green skin and long brown hair. And right now the hair is just a bit wily and unkempt. And he's wearing a wizard hat. And he goes, "Don't worry, if there's a fight, I will bring the roof down on everyone." And he prestidigitates a couple of fires.
See, almost immediately, Serax's hands just closed. And he goes, "And I'm really glad that you brought that with you, but let's just keep it contained, at least for now."
Okay, just remember that it's an option.
The Sunken Refrain's wood is old, and if it gets brought down, I hope it's dancing, not fire that does so.
Grimmy, you want ride on my shoulder so you can reach roof?
Yeah.
And she scoops it up on her shoulders now.
You guys raised the roof.
Who's next?
Stepping out and kind of putting a hand on Taki's arm, like making eyes at Serax and like, hey, I got this. Is a very tall, she's about 5'8", human, very thin woman. Her hair is kind of an odd mix of gray and red. It's hard to tell what's the highlight and what's not. And at this moment, she's got it kind of twisted up into a bun. She wears robes of like a canvas beige with a red fitted chasuble with a flame symbol on the front. Yeah.
And Serax would say to you, "Oh, thank you, Emmy. You're an angel, you are." Did we leave Tilly behind?
No, he's behind me.
He's probably just
crouched in the bush or in the brush still, like looking at probably like a bug or a beetle. Just like
It's our
completely
maker.
focused.
I wasn't
Did you
gonna
guys
say it.
see? Oh, I found a beetle.
Did you make a friend there, Tilly?
I just thought it looked kind of nice.
He does, but maybe he'll be even nicer just staying where he belongs.
I wasn't gonna take him to your show.
Okay, well, come along now, Tilly.
I'm gonna put it down.
He turns to all of you, the gathered group known as the Mistridge Misfits, and he says, "Look, I know the owner, and they've agreed to allow you to drink for free, Provided that you don't cause any trouble. I'll make sure that you get your special drinking glass, and the only thing that I'm requesting from all of you is just to get the crowd warmed up. They're a little bit quiet this early in the evening, and I need a bit of help. Yes, Tonki?
Serax may not know how to make fire to warm them up.
No. And I spoke wrong, and that's my fault. Tonki, I
got this, Tonki. It's okay. Just come with me.
follow me.
You make the fire, Emmy. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Grimmy.
Not real fire, though.
Serax turns, kind of crosses this space to the room. And you can see behind this bar there is a tiefling who is sort of spaced there. You can see both horns broken short and capped with brass. They have a jagged scar that runs from her jaw all the way down to her collarbone, half hidden by a tattoo of a burning road marker on her chest. You can see there is no smile that crosses her face, but you can see, for those of you with a wisdom, I would say above 12, you can see that there is a smile in her eyes. And Serax says, you can make an insight check if you want. Serax says, Arisha Redmark, these are the rest of my merry band of misfits I've told you so much about. Here to watch me play. Misfits, the incredible Arisha Redmark, owner of the finest establishment outside of Krazan. The very building you all stand within, the Sunken Refrain. And the tiefling just kind of grunts, reaches beneath the bar, kind of with both hands, their eyes lock with you, Tonki, and they hoist out with a loud grunt a massive iron tankard.
You need help, lady?
Oh, look, there's
They
a small one for you.
poof down on this bar, and they just grunt again. Do you take this thing?
Well, I'll wait for her to answer my question because I've learned. You need help, lady?
You can see Serax looks at her, looks at you, looks at her, and then just goes, yeah, Tonki, go ahead and pick it up. It's yours.
All right. And she lifts Grimmy down from her shoulders because she's learned that. She's made that mistake more than once and shoop, without any effort.
As you go to pick this up, the tiefling puts their hands over it to kind of block it for a moment. You almost like lift them up a little bit, but they say, don't fuck up my glasses or I'll cut you.
Oh, don't worry. And I'm like guiding.
They turn, they look at the rest of you, and they say,
I know what to do.
don't fuck up the stage or Tick Tick will literally bite your ass off.
Who's Tick Tick?
Otherwise, don't sweat a broken chair or two.
Okay, so stage
Serax.
is off limits.
Serax turns to you and says,
Okay.
please don't damage the stage. Tick Tick is a bit of a nuisance when they get upset.
Who's Tick Tick?
The Tick Tick, they're the stage manager. I've told you all about them before, Nora. Come along now. And they make their way past the bar, past these almost like draped elements of fabric that would make it almost easy to miss the fact that past the bar and the tables, there is an earthen staircase that descends into the earth. And it is here that Serax heads. Yes? Oh, sorry. Serax sweeps the cloth aside and begins to descend these steps. You can see there are racks on either side of the stairs laden with herbs, and the stairs go down into the earth, and from here, music drifts up. The descent is immediate, and it's pretty steep. This is the kind of thing that is like grandfathered into some older Boston homes. But
that's full.
yeah, very much like that. The dirt gives way to packed stone, then to carved walls that grow warmer the further down you go. The air here thickens with faint cooking smoke and heat, and as you reach the bottom, you can see the stage itself sunk another few feet lower still than the rest of this space, formed of old wooden planks ringed by benches, cushions, and low tables dragged close. The ceiling here is supported by thick stone ribs that kind of line the walls. Roots thread through them and around them, kind of bound back with little bits of copper wire to keep them out of the sort of occupied space. There are lanterns here that burn with enchanted ember light rather than flame. Their glow is steady and low. You can see the space relatively sparse. There's maybe 4 or 5 people here. And then you spot Tick Tick, the goblin stage manager. They're small even by goblin standards, and for a moment, Grimgob, you feel mighty. They are about 3 inches shorter than you. Their shoulders super narrow. They stand hunched to the left a little bit. Their skin a muted green-gray. You can see the eyes like a burning bright amber, and their ears are long and asymmetrical, with one just a little bit nicked at the tip. You can see he is currently adjusting stones. He kind of flies across the room. He begins to kind of tighten little bits of copper wire. This is the person who is likely in charge of maintaining everything here. And the person who kind of now turns and looks at all of you, their eyes light up, and they say, "Ah, Serax! The Serax and friends! This is all good, yes?" And they kind of like amble over, pushing through the two other people that are there. They look back and they go, "The crowd is not so good, yes." Serax turns and says, "This is Tick Tick, everyone. They are the stage manager here and worthy of much respect."
Pleasure to meet you.
Crowd not warm enough?
They turn to you and they go, "No! Crowd cold, ice cold."
Emmy, you know what to do.
This
Tonky.
no.
Tonky, when he means warm, he means excited. Not
That's
heat.
not what warm means.
Oh,
Serax goes,
It's one of
Like,
those
when your
little
belly's
metaphors.
Whoa.
"When I say that the crowd is colder than a crypt, I don't mean that they're all actually dead. It's just that they're not laughing very much.
Is
Thank you
called
for
a
explaining.
simile.
When I say I need warmth, I need laughter, chatter, raised mugs. Help me wake them up."
Maybe I should
raise your mug
I
up.
only just realized that when
really
you said
good at
tankard, I was thinking of a keg.
No, tankard. But it's a tankard that is like pony cake size.
Who has it?
Absolutely. You raise it up into the air.
Emmy's like steering Tonky if Tonky will let herself be steered to
Taki always lets anybody steer
So-
her anywhere, so yes.
There's no crowd
place.
visible now.
When you look in this space, aside from you guys and Tick Tick, there is a woman whose shoulders are kind of slumped over. She is staring down into her ale. She looks very unhappy. You can see flour on her sleeves. She's quiet. She's somber. You can see next to her, the person that Tick Tick kind of pushed through, is this old man, big white mustache. You can see he has a breastplate on. It is polished but very old. He's just staring at the ground, like completely disengaged. You can see an empty ale cup by him. And then in the back of the room, a little bit jumpier than the rest, there is a little halfling. They keep kind of looking through their satchel and then holding it close to them, muttering to themselves. And that's the crowd. It's 7 p.m.
Well, we can work with this. I've got a good feeling about it.
I can
Which
take
one
the
looks the
sad one.
saddest?
And with the
Make it
good
inside.
feeling about it, Nora casts Bless.
Okay. Who do you cast bless on?
So let's see. First level Bless. Who I get? I think it's 3.
It's 3.
So Serax, of course.
Okay.
And of course, Ralph. And thinking about, like, another who might potentially rub people the wrong way, Grim.
Whoops.
So you apply a different kind of social lubricant to your party member. Serax kind of shimmers with his energy. He puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Nora, as always, I appreciate any effort that you make. This will surely help. Thank you."
You're welcome.
They turn and then they turn for just a moment, kind of taking this instrument off their back, and they say, "I'm going to go get warmed up and tune my instruments. Try to get at least one of these individuals a little bit more happy.
What if we got
All
more
right.
individuals?
And then just meet me on the stage when you're ready."
Does he mean hot like warm?
No,
Or
he means-
the other one.
Nah, he means happy.
We have to make these
Okay.
people feel better
I
because they all look really sad.
You can do that.
So Raul's gonna look around and just like start approaching the sad woman looking at
Okay.
her tankard.
And with an insight check of 19, Thule, this is the saddest woman. You can see she has flour, like a light dusting of flour on her face, but there are like little marks where tears have run through them and like little bits of like almost like wet dough at the bottom of her chin. She's not doing great.
So if no one stops her, she's gonna go up to Tam and go, hey.
She looks up. Yes.
So some great music is about to start playing. And I think it would be really great if you cleaned up your face a little bit and like
Make an
was
intimidation
present.
check.
Can I help her by pulling out a rag and standing behind her and holding out the rag for her to clean up her face?
Make an intimidation check at advantage. as you say, you need to clean up your face, and then a massive Goliath just goes.
She's smiling.
Oh
Here
yeah,
you go, lady.
Oh yeah.
7'1" in a dark room with just these like little ember light torches around, probably a little bit more intimidating.
And
than
this is
10
why
kids.
my intimidation checks
There you go.
are using
God.
strength, not charisma.
Yeah.
I rolled terribly. 12.
With a 12, she looks up at you. She looks over at you, Taki, and she says, "Look, I don't want any trouble. I just came to drown my sorrows. That's all."
No trouble, lady. Here you go.
Right.
Does there appear to be anyone like bussing tables, waiting on?
Not a person.
patrons?
You've seen that bar upstairs. It seems like it's a self-serve sort of situation.
Emmy's
You're at
going
the
to go
silhouette.
upstairs and get a platter of drinks, or like the biggest tray that she can talk the bartender into.
Okay, yeah. For you guys who have all gotten the license to drink here tonight, you guys can drink as many drinks as you would like. Though, the drinks are relatively limited. There is an ale that is local to the area that you can bring down. And then there is a rum that is imported from the south. Imported is strongly... It's a strong word. It was made south of here.
Ralph's gonna look at this lady's cup. Can I tell what she's drinking?
Who is drinking?
The
it's an
sad
ale.
lady.
It's an ale.
It's an ale?
Yeah.
It's like, what if we fill that and then you just pay attention?
Why are you
Make a
sad?
persuasion. You walk up and you say, "Why are you sad?" Just as Ralph says this. And that is a...
Bless is a D4, right?
Yeah. Madam.
I'm rolling really great, guys.
This makes sense for you.
You spent all your good rolls earlier.
Dude, you said persuasion?
Yeah.
That 20 for the
10.
end of
You're proficient in
campaign
that.
two,
I am.
all the energy for campaign 3 rolls.
They turn to you and they say, "I don't even want to do that. I have had so many problems keeping my granary in business,
No.
and I don't need this intimidation. I'll leave."
And
She
like
stands up.
Nora steps in and she's like, "I'm so sorry. This is my sister. She is really great. She's just very direct. And no, you're doing so good. Really, she just saw that you were down. She really wants to help people. She's practicing."
Make a persuasion check. I would normally say at advantage, but do it flat.
While that happens, Grimglaw pats Ralph on the back. You're making it worse.
I
Thanks,
really am. That's a
Grim.
1.
She stands up and she says, "He's the only one who's been right so far." And she gets up and
That's fair. Bye. I hope you feel better.
you are now down to 2 people.
All right, Tuli, you
That
mentioned something
was
about getting
sad.
people.
Emmy, when she has the platter, will
Well,
come back
I
down
was
and
going to
start
see why she
asking
was
people if they want
sad,
drinks.
and then I was
Okay.
going to see what would make her happy and suggest
Oh.
maybe a song. Because
Oh.
there's going to be a good song
So
played.
Emmy returns with a platter full of drinks.
That's a good idea.
And you offer these to the 2 folks who remain. You offer it first to the white mustachioed man, who it takes a second offering before they kind of wince. You can see, make a perception check.
New character.
You care who this?
Shit. 17.
17. With a 17, there's a flicker of motion. You can see they are anxious.
It's the first time I rolled that 4 times.
But that is all. They turn and they just kind of brush you off. They don't even answer. You go over to this other individual who, a little bit jumpier than the rest. They grab their belongings close to them as you approach. But as you offer a drink, they would just kind of lean in and go, "Well, it depends. Is there any rats in it?"
Not unless this place is famous for that.
Not this place. But there's been rats all over the roads. They're scared of music, which is why I came here.
Oh,
But there's no music.
There will be soon.
It's just warming up right now. They're gonna dim the lights any second, and he'll come right in. And Nora dims the lights with thaumaturgy.
You dim the lights ever so slightly. As that happens, as you offer this drink for free, they accept it. They look around and they go, "Well, if it will keep the rats away, I'll stay just a little bit longer."
We didn't see any suspicious amount of rats.
Make a nature
on our way,
check.
did we?
Was anyone paying attention to the number of rats?
Is it
I feel like I would notice because I'm closest to the floor.
Yeah, I rolled with them,
Make a
yeah.
perception check, Grimgob. 14.
Yeah.
With a 14, as you look about this place.
Well, I was also thinking more like if he's saying there are rats outside.
Yeah.
We didn't see any, right? So like.
I mean, you're traveling 30 minutes outside of
Yeah.
town, so like hard to tell, but you didn't see any rats. 0 rats.
No on the perception check. The sad lady already left, right?
You see no. The sad lady already left. She walked up the stairs. She walked out the door. You have just these 2 people, but
All
you
right.
do see this jumpy halfling has accepted a drink from Emmy, and they now turn their body towards the stage.
Is there like a
That-
central table?
There's a couple of different tables and like chairs around the sunken in stage, but there's no central table.
Okay. I mean, one that's closest to like the center of the room.
Oh yeah.
Emmy's gonna go and like put the platter down and like call everybody over and like.
Okay.
As she walks over, Tonki's like, Grimmy, you think Sad Lady Granary get eaten up by rats? Shh.
You can see.
That's a good
You
idea.
can see TikTok immediately just their feet so fast across the ground, and they almost collide with you, Tonki. But they just say, "Don't say rats. Don't say rats. Those bad rats."
Have there
you
been
talked to them?
rats?
We talked.
Till you come over, Ralph, you come over. All of you now standing around this goblin who's like looking up at all of you, and you hear the floor.
Oh,
And Tick Tick
Too
says,
much.
"They've been eating all the wood," and the floor collapses. All of you fall in, having forced one of these people to leave. Not everybody falls down into the pit. But as the ground collapses beneath you, you can see the tables fall down, the chairs fall down. All of you, please make dexterity saving throws.
Oh,
Oh.
How far is the fall?
About 10 feet.
Huh?
Not terribly far, about 10 feet.
Said the fall.
You cast it on yourself?
And I guess up to 5 falling creatures. So,
Who are you leaving out?
I'm fine.
most of y'all actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll do the 2 patrons that are
Okay.
still here.
Fantastic.
Tonki
Okay.
and let's see, myself, obviously. Is Serax around?
You don't see Serax in this moment.
Okay.
Stage manager.
And I guess Tick Tick.
Okay, in the same.
So
You do not need to make a saving throw. You do not need to make a saving throw. For everybody else, please make a saving throw, a
I
dexterity
fall on
saving
my
throw.
ass.
You fall on your ass.
And I would like to say to the rest of the patrons, the show begins!
17.
17, that is a success.
10.
10, that is a failure, unfortunately.
I hope this doesn't kill me. 11.
11, that is also a failure, unfortunately.
This might kill me.
The 2 of you fall
level
prone,
1 hit
and
points.
I need everybody
I'm
to
a
roll
wizard.
for initiative.
How
Oh,
much
man.
damage do we take from the fall?
No damage.
No
10
fall
feet.
damage.
Thank God. I won't be killed.
Just prone. Just prone.
See, Tonki has this feature that Joe gave me about for free action. I can check if something is sturdy enough to hold my weight.
Damn, you
I
didn't
didn't
use
think
it.
to check before.
Donkey, no thing to check the floor. Maybe that's just how you get the free action.
Floors usually hold Tonki. Yeah, I like that. This is the
You just put it on top of them.
On top? Okay.
It's a pretty small encounter. Not.
All right.
the inception of Tonki's.
Look, it's almost like he prepared
and
for this.
Somebody's going to have to grab the miniatures. Grimgob is not arrived.
Oh, bummer.
Well.
No, Grim
Y'all don't know what I look like yet.
Is it like
It's just
that?
really small. The mini's just
No,
so
it's
mini.
because my character has experienced growth, so that's why there's gonna be 2 different minis.
Because I ordered him like a month later. That will be Grimgob for today.
Well.
More like
As you did cast
Grim
Featherfall,
blob.
these people are not falling prone. They are falling on their feet, but nevertheless still down here. So
You can keep them there just for Emmy and Laura.
We had a job to make sure the people
People need to
warmed
be
up, and they
excited.
can't be warmed up if they're dead.
Yeah, well, they're about to be less warmed up because Rat Guy is now with rats.
as this collapses, you can see the entirety. Oh, let me pull up our battle cam. You can see this in a little bit of detail here, but in even greater detail on @AlberonRPG on Instagram. If people take pictures, you can see the stage is collapsed inwards completely. Everything falls down about 10 feet, and there is rubble that surrounds the sort of space. Light spills in from above from the little ember lanterns. One of the lanterns falls, and flame takes over one element of this wood you imagine left unchecked. It will continue to spread. All around you, as the dust rises up, there's difficult terrain wherever those little pebbles are. And so most of this map is difficult terrain. And you hear chittering. Lots of it. And it occurs to you that this floor has given way, for this building is infested with rats. They have eaten away at parts of the floors, causing this to collapse, and now you see several swarms of them, and a couple of rats of unusual size.
Not Rose.
So, anybody with a natural 20? Ooh, okay, 25 to 20.
Damn.
Okay, we have 20 to 15. Oh my gosh. 15 to 10.
Level 1, Joe.
10.
11.
Wait,
Am I still
damn.
going
We're on the
first? I think
high
you're still
end.
going
No,
first.
I got a 12.
12,
10 is on the high.
10 for Thule, and then 10 to 5.
9.
9.
Hey!
Who's
Plus
faster?
2.
A 0.
Me.
Grim,
The whizzes.
the Whizzes, and
We strike
Nora,
together.
and then Rolf, what about you?
4.
4 for Rolf.
No Riz. Oh, Wiz.
Love it.
That is
Love it.
fantastic. So the way that this works out, the rats are going first. Very unfortunate for all of you, especially at level 0. We are going to be having Conky going second. Emmy is third. Thule follows Emmy, then Grim, then Nora, then Rolf, and then at the very end of time, the commoners. Yes.
Did the fall disrupt my concentration because I didn't take damage?
No?
Okay.
We begin initiative with the rats.
So y'all still God bless.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
One is going to go towards the halfling. One is going to go towards Rolf. This rat of unusual size is going to turn his attention to Thule. And then I have one more rat that I'm not able to visually pick up on my board right now because I hit him around a corner somewhere. Oh no!
Oh, I
it's my
see.
swarm. It's my swarm.
Oh.
They're going to close in with this person, and so you can see swarms of rats, almost like these hungry currents of
rat.
tiny teeth and red eyes, swarm as one around. We're going to take a couple of attacks here. No. So, Swarm of Rats is a CR 1/4 creature, 1/4 of a single point. At level 1, they're kind of beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Those are commoners with like 6 hit points.
No,
First.
probably less.
the first rat of unusual size is going to take a swipe at you. Ori, there is this loud screech, and then they try to
gonna take a
sink
while.
their bite in.
Oh, fuck!
Ori,
How are you here?
Sorry, Ori. Thule.
It's gonna take a
Does
while,
a 6
probably.
hit?
Yeah.
A 6 doesn't hit.
There
It
you
does
go.
not.
They try to bite into you, but you just shake them off your leg, no problem. Going around the table over here, a swarm of rats descends upon this halfling who spilled their drink that you gave to them all over themselves already. They sink bite after bite into this halfling, and with a 21, are going to be dealing.
No.
You watch as this halfling is ripped to shreds. He just goes, "Help me! Help me!"
I have our audience.
Completely devoured by this swarm. You can see like little bits of bone as like their hand reaches out. They are completely devouring this individual,
Holy shit.
and he will likely be like missing in a couple of minutes. Commoner 1 down. We move around
Damn.
the horn over to
So
our
this is the
swarm.
trauma that binds us.
That was horrifying.
Rolf, A swarm of rats swarms into you. They try to climb into your pants, your shoes, up and into the seams of your garments. You can feel them scraping at your mouth as they climb onto your shoulders, and they take bite attacks. Ralph, does a 17 hit?
Well, that's a great question because I realized I didn't unequip my armor. So let me just do that really fast.
Okay.
It's most likely yes because with my armor I'm an 18, so
Yes.
yeah.
That is 4 points of piercing damage as bite after bite punches through your shirt, through your pants. These creatures it's dozens, and each one seems larger than the last. And then the final swarm going up against this other commoner, they get a single series of bite attacks. They're going to roll a 15. And they do not just bite into this commoner, they erupt. You can see they go into the breastplate. This guy goes, oh, they're back! And just starts like scraping at them. You can see blood begin to pour down the breastplate, out through the arms. And you watch as they are not just killed, but they are killed outright. As they are dealt 6 points of damage.
How many points of damage was that?
6 points of damage.
6? Okay.
Oh, shit.
For you?
For Ralph.
It was 4.
No, sorry, 4 for Ralph.
Okay, cool.
6 points for that commoner, and that commoner will not come back from revivifying.
Dear God, no!
They are all the way dead. That
They're already
is
being digested.
all of the rats. That brings us to Tonki.
Okay.
Tonki, where you have landed on your back, you can hear screeches and skittering. You can hear rubble falling all around you. What do you want to do?
I landed on my feet, right? Because of feather fall?
Yes, that's right.
All right, well... Jesus. All right, Dan, I'm gonna head over to this one here. You said it's basically all difficult terrain?
Yeah.
1, 2...
You're right next to a swarm, aren't you?
I was close.
There's
Was
a
I
swarm.
in base contact with this one?
No, I don't think so.
No, you are not.
It's all over for that person. Me protect Thule. And with my unarmed fighting, I'm gonna go ahead and for flavor, I want to pick up the rat and go wham, wham.
Make your attack.
Is that all right?
Absolutely it is.
All right. So this is can we do it like mechanically, like one hit with each fist?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
You have two hits?
we talked about it being like a 2-weapon fighting situation if I wanted to hit with both of my fists.
At level 1?
I think she means like attack and then bonus action attack. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Bonus action offhand attack.
I think that probably makes sense at level 3.
Fair enough, but
probably
not okay.
level 1, yeah.
That's fine. So I'm just gonna roll 1 then. That is totally fine. All right, that's gonna be a 19 to hit.
That hits. You easily hoist this beach up. It is a rat of unusual size, but not a large rat for you, Tonki.
Me usual size. And that's gonna be 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
You watch as Tonki picks up this rat that is the size of a small dog with like just a thumb and a forefinger, lifts it high over, and then just splatters it. You watch as the skeleton of this creature scatters out of the skin. This thing just pops and ruptures across the space. It is very dead. This creature has 1 hit point.
Oh. And then, let me see. I moved. I hit. I'm just gonna look at Thule and be like, Thule, you okay?
Tonki, you didn't have to kill it. It's just hungry, I bet.
You seen these, Thule?
You turn over and there is a halfling being devoured whole by these rats. You can see his eye just ruptures in that moment. Not doing great.
I mean, I think they're just hungry.
That is your turn, Tonki.
Yes.
That brings us to Emmy.
Alright, where am I?
Emmy, currently, you have fallen right in the center of this action. You can hear rats all around you. And there is a dim light coming from above, this kind of fiery ember light. But as one of these lanterns has fallen, there is a burning fire that is beginning to catch just off a little bit, maybe 20 feet away from you.
And which one is the halfling that's being eaten?
The one that is closest to the fire, actually.
That guy.
Oh.
This one.
No, that's Nora.
That guy, the short little guy, he's dead.
He's super dead.
This one was Is this one down?
Yep,
or-
they're both
Yeah, okay.
they're both not doing good.
Okay.
Are they both dead?
One of them is all the way dead to like the deadest degree you can get.
One
in
was
D&D.
unconscious.
One is just dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
like downed.
Okay.
Stand up and make my way a little bit closer, and I will. You all see Emily kind of like pull a mote of light into her hand and throw it toward the halfling. That will be part a d6 out of the healing light pool that I have.
Okay.
If I can get my stuff. I was not prepared for this. That is 3 points of health back to the halfling.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Almost against his will, he is kind of brought back to life. You can see there are rats all around him. His eye just popped, and he is just screeching as he comes back up.
That is a bonus action, and as my action, how big would you say this fire is at the moment?
This
Small
fire,
campfire or
yeah, like a
less?
small campfire.
I will use prestidigitation to put it out.
There you go.
Nice.
You reach out with one hand. There is this mote of healing flame that leaps across the space and brings this halfling into unfortunate consciousness, and the other just quenches the flame on this
And
table.
for flavor, like almost pulling it back into myself.
Absolutely. Love that. Almost like a cycle. As you push some fire into this individual, you pull more, creating almost a circle of flames between you and them. Anything else,
Equivalent
Emmy?
exchange.
That is all I can do this round.
Alrighty.
pretty
You
good.
obey the laws of equivalent exchange. That's two Thule Grim on deck.
Well,
So this
things
guy's
have changed quite a bit. Does that guy still have 1 HP? Doesn't he? The rodent of unusual size.
Joe
died.
described it as exploding.
Oh.
It has like a total.
It
Had a
has a
total.
total.
It had before
The one that
Tonky hit it.
Tonky
I thought it
put
was-
down, it dealt a tremendous amount of damage to a very
I
small
was like,
hit point pool.
I was surprised that it was at 1 HP after that, but okay, that makes sense.
Burst.
Makes more
It's
sense.
the deadest it could be. There's just one rodent of unusual size and then several swarms left.
Okay. I am not really much in a position to get to any of that, so I'm going to use half of my movement to get up because I was prone. I'm gonna.
Alana, it's hidden from you.
Oh, I'm just like, okay.
And I'm gonna try to cast Speak with Animals. And I'm gonna say,
Phallus?
We've all basically just like given our roles
if
to
you're
each
just
other.
hungry, we can feed you. Please stop.
Okay. You cast Speak with Animals, which I believe is an action.
Yes.
So on your next turn, if you want, you can certainly try to persuade them. I will say these rats seem ravenous. They are ripping into things. They do seem to pay attention to you. You imagine they can understand you.
And then, bonus action, I'm gonna say, Tonky, if they get close, just don't squish them so hard.
Me cannot help it, Thule. You know this.
Bardic.
That is your turn, Thule.
Yes.
That brings us to Grim.
How much is your bardic?
D6.
Mechanically,
We're level 1.
this swarm and that's next to the halfling, are they in the same space or are they like adjacent to each other?
Adjacent to each other.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna move over here and be like, and he's gonna be very dramatic about it, but he's gonna say, "Hey, that's a lost audience member," and he will like start to wave his hands really dramatically. "Aye, Grimgod, bring forth the arcane!" and cast Thunder Wave at these rats.
Phenomenal. What kind of saving throw is that?
Witness me! That will be a Constitution saving
Is it
throw.
creatures that you choose?
I'm gonna do it like here, so angle this away
Gotcha.
to push him away from
Okay.
eating the halfling.
What kind of save?
Constitution.
That is a natural 20.
Oh
God.
man. Well, you take half damage of. You take 11 half to 5 thunder damage, and it is not knocked away.
There is a as you summon forth the arcane, Grimmy, you call this magic, and there is this explosion. It is not as big as you would hope.
Oh,
you can
man.
see this swarm of rats, several of them just crumple, but others begin to rip them apart and rise in their place. They are still up. Anything else, Grimmy?
Let's see. That will be it.
Okay, that is it. That brings us to Nora. Ralph is on deck.
So Nora just kind of like looks like picks her head up and just sees like a huge swarm of rats like right in front of her face, and just kind of like flavor-wise, kind of like backs up and is like kind of cowering next to Ralph. It's like, ew, 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 ew. And wisdom saving throw, please.
For the
What?
For as she casts Toll the Dead. But she doesn't know it yet. She's only level 1.
Incredible. All of our powers are being birthed today.
Toll the Dead on which rack? Okay.
Right next to Nora's
And that is
face.
what kind of save?
That's a wisdom saving throw, please.
That is a 14. Sorry. These rats apparently.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Nora said that today was going to be a good day. The silvery barbs, please. Silvery barbs on the rats.
Even higher. 16.
Today's going to be a good day.
Who do you want to give the advantage to? I feel like it's really important for this level 1 fight. Okay, good.
Very wise. As you cower next to your sibling. Anything else, Nora? All right, that brings us to Ralph. Ralph, you have just a little bit of advantage now.
Awesome. Okay, so where are the rats of unusual size? Am I blind?
It's dead.
No,
So now we
well,
just.
One of them is dead, and
There's
then
one more.
there's
Kara's finger's
Oh.
right near it. Oh, no.
Oh,
far
is
away.
it right here?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it is so
When I said it
blocked
was
from my
hidden from
vision.
you, I
Okay.
meant. I know what it's like
was
now.
like-
Having sat at the table in Hannah's place last night, I was sitting here and they were like the constructs. And I was like, oh, theater of the mind. And then Hannah started moving the construct. And I was like, oh, wait, they're there.
There were tall houses.
Yeah, they were very tall houses. Yeah.
Okay, so as seeing that my sibling was just attacked, but no one's really next to anything. Okay, let me just actually double check a wording on something because it's my first time rolling this one weapon attack. Okay, so I don't think Grimgob is having much of a weapon right now. She's gonna look down the pile of rats that just attacked her and just say, no! And she's gonna also cast Toll the Dead.
I love how
Even
different.
higher.
Damn
You're
it.
like 14, 16, 18 now.
Damn.
I love how different your Tolls of the Dead.
And seeing, yeah.
Still take half damage, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be. Let me just double check that.
It might be no
because
damage.
I think it might be a
I-
save or suck.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
a
it's-
cantrip, right?
It's
Yeah.
it's
You
super
are
stuck.
correct. You are
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Keeping us honest.
Yeah.
Rules Lord
Okay.
clocking in early.
Okay, and since that did not work, she's going to cast, as a bonus action, she's going to cast Shield of Faith on Nora.
Okay.
Oh wait, I had advantage because silver barbs. No, that wasn't an attack roll.
That was an
Brain.
attack
I
roll.
am so confused.
It's okay.
So Nora gets +2 bonus to her AC, and since I cast a spell of level 1 or higher, you may use your reaction to make a weapon attack against the rats. If you would like.
I have no reaction this round because I used it.
There you go. So, anything else,
But you have a
Ralph?
+2 to her AC. Yeah. So I can't really move any more in the way of the rats than I currently am to kind of shield Nora because she's kind of in a weird space. Yeah. So maybe flavor wise, she'll do everything in her power to physically block Nora from the rats.
Okay, absolutely. You kind of shift yourself into their way. That is your turn, Ralph. That brings us to Serax. Up at the top of this space, having not fallen down, being in this kind of little practice zone, you can see they have pulled out this fiddle, almost looks like it's carved from ivory, and they quickly look down and seeing this rodent of unusual size, they play a quick couple of notes, and there is a bolt of fire that emerges from this fiddle towards this creature as they cast Firebolt.
Serax, we setting fire or not? I'm so confused.
And unfortunately, Serax is going to miss. And so throws his bolt of fire into this sort of pile of kindling, essentially. And the barrel right behind the rat of unusual size catches fire. Where Hannah just had the finger. Yeah. Excuse me. That is Serax's turn. That brings us to the commoners. Death saving throws for the halfling, which is honestly better than I thought he would be right now.
Oh, isn't he back up?
He's back up.
Oh, is he
because
back
he got
up?
healed?
Okay,
Yeah,
that's right,
he's
he's back up.
Emmy
So,
brought him up.
The eye popped back in.
At level 1, I don't think it did.
Unfortunately, a whole lot better. He's going to stand up with half of his movement speed and make a run for it, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Is this the one who specifically was like, I can come here to get away from the rat?
Yes, he is.
This is the guy from the tavern in the first Fellowship of the Ring
He
movie with the eye.
skips
I think.
Very much so.
And is able to move away from these rats. And he is going to just cower back here. But you have at least saved this one audience member for now. That brings us to the top of the round. I don't know why I sat down. Into the rats.
These wise rats.
These wise rats.
I'm in danger.
Oh, it's the 3 wise rats.
Yes. To Nora. They will move away from these corpses. 5, 10, 15, 20. I think they can get to Ralph. Corpse surfing. My rat of unusual size did not die.
The crowd is warmed up now. They're corpse
They will get a
surfing.
Thule.
Damn.
Thule, this rat of unusual
So
size
glad I have things
approaches
like
you.
guidance.
They rear
Mage
up
hand.
on their hind legs.
Message.
And they say, what'd you say? They're going to hold their action based on what you respond to them. The other swarms of rats are a little bit less generous in their dispositions.
On my turn.
First, one of them is going to attack Rolf. Rolf, as you interject yourself between your siblings and these rats, one of the swarms leaps towards you, does a 5 hit. Sorry, does a 7 hit.
No.
Okay. You just backhand a big chunk of rats out. They just go all over the room. Nora, one of them just goes cartwheeling over your head. But absolutely, you're able to protect from them. There is a group of rats that closes in on you, Grim, and they are going to take some bite attacks on you. That is a natural 1. You watch as one is about to leap right towards your jugular, and another rat, seeing a chance to rise the social ranks of ratdom, just assassinates it. And with that natural 1, that is a miss on that swarm. I have one more swarm. They're going towards you, Nora. No. You are on the ground. Nora, does a 12 hit?
Not right now. Oh, wait. It beats it.
That is unfortunate.
Wait. Would Shield of Save?
Yeah, it beats it.
So wimpy.
Nora,
Yeah.
you take 7 points.
Nora's
of
down!
piercing damage as the rats devour you, kind of swimming over you. The one that cartwheels over lands in this swarm. You can see like one tiny little fist points at you, and the whole swarm just goes over you. They go into your sleeves, up your pant leg. You can feel them like crawling at the back of your.
Nora feels
shirt.
nothing. Nora's fully unconscious.
Even in unconsciousness, you
Goddamn.
feel these tiny little paws as they begin to dig.
How can I?
That is
How
all
can I
of the
die
rats.
before the campaign even starts?
That brings us to the answer to that question.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
All right, where is Nora? I'm losing track.
She's
here?
right next to me.
So
Like,
is
don't-
Nora.
She's here?
I am prone next to my sibling. I am surrounded by people and dying.
Got it.
As the wizard I am.
I appreciate that it's easy to see where Tonki is at all times.
Yeah.
Yes. Tonki's the one that looks like she's gonna punch everybody.
Tonki's the one that's twice the size of my mini.
Yeah.
Tonki's one with hands rated E for everyone.
Tonki is a maxi.
All right. I can't get to Nora, but I can get to this swarm. And watching Thule talk to the rat and having been properly scolded by him, she's gonna not smash
The ROUS yet. But
And the ROUS is not going to take an attack of opportunity as you pass. Still just intently looking at Ori with these beady little eyes.
okay. Good job, Thule. Good talking. Me talk too. Can the swarm of rats be grappled?
That's a good question.
How many rats can Tonki hold in her huge hands?
Grappled is restrained, right?
Yeah.
No, grappled is grappled.
It is, but it's not.
It's a different
dissimilar
condition
from
than
it.
restrained.
They're
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, grappled.
Grappled is-
You imagine they are probably immune to being grappled
Okay.
There are too many to hold in your hands.
as a swarm.
That
It's
all
just
right.
one
And,
rat too many.
Gonna go ahead and take an unarmed attack, and she is going to bring her mighty boot down onto the swarm.
Oh no.
Make an attack roll.
Oh no. No bringing boots down.
14?
14 is a hit.
Nice.
Maybe a sandal.
That's gonna be 10 points of damage as I smoosh them under my
Wow.
sandal.
What kind of damage?
Bludgeoning.
You crush 4 or 5 rats under your boot.
Sandal.
But as a swarm of rats, when members go down individually, more just fill their place. You imagine they are somewhat resistant to bludgeoning damage for that reason.
Boots.
And so it is not the full amount that you would expect.
Me boots not doing the full amount me expect!
Anything else, Tonky?
No, that's it.
That brings us to Emmy.
It's okay, Tonky. Just step on them again.
Emmy, just as you quench this flame, another rises as Serax hurls a bolt of fire down
Not
into this kindling.
helpful!
Sorry.
Rinse and repeat. Nora gets, I believe it's 4 health back, healing light, and again prestidigitation. Take the flame.
Very nice. You cycle the fire through Nora and back into your own being, instilling the elements of life that travel through all flame. You know that within Nora has what she needs, and so you instill the spark back into her.
I need less rats!
Anything else?
That is all I can do.
All right. Hey, that's a pretty good thing.
That's pretty
Keeping
good.
the house from burning down from the
Extremely
basement,
productive.
pretty good.
And also, I don't have to roll death saving throws on session 0.5.
So that brings us to Thule. And to be fair, session at level 1, almost everybody like TPKs at level 1, or they level up. There's really only 2 options. So, Thule.
Yeah. So the rat just asked what I said. Said,
What'd you say?
I said, if you stop eating my friends, we can feed you actual food.
Make a persuasion check.
Hell yeah. Persuasion? 21.
You got me in.
I like that.
This rat
is
just
now
kind
playing
of
a character who actually
gets over
can
next to
persuade his
you
way out of it.
and just kind of like almost looks like a waiting animation for a fighting game. Like they're just kind of sitting there waiting to see what's up. Every now and then you get a little tug on your pant leg until you feed this rat. They are going to remind you about it. But you persuaded this particular rat of unusual size to
Can I
join your
offer to
team.
pick him up?
And
Absolutely.
This is how Tuli
as
gets
a free
his third
action,
familiar.
you hold down your arm and this rat scurries up and just kind of
I'm
gets
gonna
on
say,
your shoulder. It's heavy.
we have to stop the fighting and then we can go upstairs and have some food.
Go ahead.
Everyone, we can stop fighting. We're gonna.
Oh, I don't know these guys.
Oh. Cool. Well, I'll get you some food.
So we talking fish? We talking meat? What are we talking about?
You want me to fish?
But you absolutely have gotten this singular rat onto your team. No problem, Thule. Anything else?
Then I'm gonna be like, Tonky, I don't think all of them can hear me, so you might need to start squishing more.
When you look back, you can see there is a rat of unusual size on Thule's shoulder, and the rat goes,
And Tuli goes,
okay, there you go.
And then
Donkey, damn it!
bonus action, Bardic Inspiration.
Very nice. So,
Another
Tonky, you get the
D6.
Bardic Inspiration. That brings us to Grimmy.
Wait,
Oh,
no,
I
I
should have
have.
given it to you.
Yeah, I didn't use. I haven't.
I
used
give
mine.
it to
Oh,
Grimmy.
You give it to
Yeah,
Grimmy.
because I haven't
Say-
used mine yet.
Grimmy.
All right. Let's see. Seeing how fire seems to be refrain scolded upon, he will move over here and yell, "Get away from Nora!" And he's gonna cast Lightning Lure on the one that's eating Nora.
Very nice. That is what, dex save?
Strength saving throw.
They better be bad at this.
These are wise and strong
5.
Failure. Let's see. It's a D8 of. Let's see. Light. Max damage. 8 lightning damage.
8 points of lightning
I
damage
imagine
plus
they're in a
the full
chain, so
amount
they're just
that you
getting
would expect.
electrocuted because they're touching each other.
They are all touching each other. When you strike them with this lightning lure, it yanks the whole clump of them up.
Get
off the
over
ground.
here.
About 3 or 4 of them just corkscrew, like smoke trailing from their tails as they just little fireworks off from the main swarm.
I'm glad
The
they're
swarm
not
is
your
looking pretty hurt.
friends.
All right. It
In
so
fact,
I move it.
2 of the swarms look pretty hurt.
I moved it 15 feet away from me, which I think is moved it away from Ralph. Are we still
an attack
doing?
of opportunity?
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Would it be reasonable for Ralph to have a dagger, or is she just punching a rat?
Yeah, that makes sense to have a dagger.
Okay. She's gonna try to stab a rat.
There you go. Make an attack roll. As this swarm of rats is yanked away, it is like somebody kind of reverse shuffling cards, but the cards are rats away from you.
Does a 6 hit?
A 6, unfortunately, does not.
Oh wait, I'm
hit.
blessed.
You are blessed.
Oh, and I also have an advantage to my roll.
There you go.
There we
Use
go.
all
I
the
didn't
cards.
remember
We
the
haven't
rules.
used it yet.
I haven't used it yet. Okay, let me just reroll this. Okay, that's better. 11.
That is a hit.
Hey!
Swarm of rats. They wear no armor. They have no training.
No training.
Minimum damage of 2.
But they're
Hey,
so wise.
that's still 2 more than they had before. And this swarm of rats, you can see, less a swarm, more just kind of an uncoordinated group now. They're still up, but they are looking badly hurt.
You just hear Ralph swearing under her breath.
You swear under your breath as a free action. That brings us to Serax.
And by the way, I pull out my quarterstaff.
We
so I'm.
skipped me.
Oh, sorry.
Nora's alive.
Grimmy. Oh, yeah. We also skipped.
No, we went
No.
from Grim straight
Grim
to
skipped
Ralph.
Nora. We skipped.
Oh, no, that was
No, that
Ralph.
was attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity,
So it's
yes.
Nora's turn.
At the end of my turn, I just want to use to pull out my quarterstaff so I'm holding a quarterstaff.
Okay. Pull out your quarterstaff.
For reasons.
Hold your quarterstaff.
Reasons.
And that brings us to Nora.
There's just so many. Everything's gross. Thanks, Emmy. And then looks over and just sees the mass of rats now surrounding Grimgob and says, "Ow!" And once more, wisdom saving throw, please.
16.
Are you fucking serious?
I
How
have
wise are
literally
these rats?
rolled 14 or above on everything except for the one roll that I had to make for strength. Or for-
Gonna try it. I know I should hold on to shield, but silvery barbs once more. It's gonna be a good day.
13.
Bah!
Oh,
Bah!
Damn.
Bye, spells.
You try to manipulate these rats in some way.
did you want
And
to
it
give the
just doesn't
advantage?
quite
to-
work. You give the advantage
Stab a
to your
rat.
sibling. Anything else, Nora?
Nope.
Okay, you scream from the floor. That brings us to Ralph.
So at this point, like, Ralph's eye is, like, fully twitching. And she's just like, okay. The rats clearly are not responding to just angry words magic. So she'll just take a page from Tonki's book and just try to stab some freaking rats in front of her.
There you go. Make your attack roll. Stab some freaking rats.
You got advantage.
Yeah.
We knew you would come around.
Okay, so please. Oh, one's an 18 on the die.
Very nice. That is a hit.
Okay. Okay, please be above minimum damage. Maximum 5. 5 stabbing damage.
Nice.
5 points of stabbing damage. Only half as helpful as you would expect. But, Ralph, this swarm of rats has taken a lot of damage. As they leap at you, you slash with the dagger. As they try to grab purchase upon your body, you impale them. And when you clear from this melee, there is no rats left from that swarm.
I was like fully like breathing hard, and she's like, "Fucking rats!" And then she's gonna turn and see Grimgob is now in a questionable state. So
They don't matter for me. I'm much bigger than them.
He's holding a staff.
He's like,
Swarm of rats.
hold on, let me just.
Picturing Grimgob just
You didn't bring enough.
standing there, and then suddenly just instant rat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my only bonus actions
Grimgob
are
shaped rat pile.
things that will break other things that are currently occurring or
Okay.
just be useless. So instead of casting anything, she'll just go. Just. Can I take a look at Grimgob to take like a moment to be like, is it safe to be close to this man right now? Like this-
Grimgob?
yeah.
Almost never.
Okay. So
Hey.
yeah. So she'll just like position herself. She won't move actually. She's just gonna make eye contact with the Grim and see he has the staff out and be like, I don't think I want to be near
Absolutely,
this right now.
yeah. You can feel the judgmental eyes of your ally upon you. That is Ralph. That brings us to Serax, who, looking down, can see Grim surrounded by these creatures attacking him, and he is going to play one more much higher melody on their fiddle. And Grimgob, as they cast Healing Word on you.
I haven't been hurt yet.
Oh, you haven't been hurt.
No.
Yeah.
Who's hurt? Oh, Nora. They will turn to you. You can see this light in their eye as they play this fiddle, and you take 6 points of healing
damage.
unless you're undead.
Are you undead?
I feel
Not yet.
I feel like I have died in estimation in his eyes. God. Yes.
That is
that's what I mean.
Serax's turn. That brings
I
us
have
to
no
the
preference
commoners. That halfling, you can see they just run and run and run for the corner. Where in the darkness, you can see there is an old staircase, almost just hung dense with cobwebs, almost never used. This part of the building probably blocked off long ago. Dusty, disrepair, but this halfling out of danger for now. And that brings us to the top of the round to the rats.
It looks like he found the exit.
Hope I don't die here.
Just a reminder, you do have bless. You are blessed.
Okay.
Oh wait,
That doesn't help me in death.
you are right. I do have. It's no bless. I
Oh,
died.
right, because you died.
I
Grimmy,
died.
from both sides, these rats swarm in on you. The first bites are going to be
Oh, I thought it
a
was a
21 to hit.
Wow.
That will hit, yeah.
Grimmy, you were taking 5 points of piercing damage from that first one.
Ow, 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 ow.
And from the second one, the second swarm looking hurt enough, it seems like they're only doing about half damage. And it rings free because that is a 5 to hit.
Miss.
Little rats unable to get into you. That is all of the rats' turns.
Do you deflect one rat with another rat?
Yeah.
That brings us
rats
to the
offset
top
each
of the,
other.
or to Tonki.
All right.
There are different
What?
clan conflicts.
How many little a-holes we got left here?
Tonki, off in the distance, you can see
I
there's
have
just two
one.
swarms of rats left, and then over on
Actually, I
Thule's
guess two.
shoulder,
We all have one,
there's
Thule.
a friendlier looking
That's how
rat.
anatomy works.
Well, if we're counting this guy's, then it's
Can-
two.
So it's difficult terrain. Jumping would be an action, right? Not a move.
Correct.
Okay.
You can. There's a certain amount that you can jump as part of your movement if you take at least 10 feet of movement in a straight line, I believe, and I think it's just your strength score
Yeah.
plus something.
All right.
Hulk smash.
Hulk do be smashing.
Is Hulk gonna smash Nora?
No.
Fuck her out of the way.
I'm gonna.
Honestly,
We
Ralph
can
would
move through
probably hook
friendly
her out of the
spaces,
way.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can move through, just can't end.
Yeah. And diagonals are 5, 10, 5, 10?
Yep.
So 5, 10, 15. Look at that.
Love it.
What?
Love it.
Okay.
You just
and-
crush the rubble in your way, just stomping all over it.
Don't worry, we make
It
time.
becomes regular terrain.
It becomes more difficult.
Which
That's
swarm
actually an
is the
interesting
one that just
ability.
was eating Grimmy?
All difficult
Um,
you
Some
walk
souls like
through
terrain.
because-
That one is the one I'm getting.
Okay, sure. That's the one that's a little bit more hefty.
Yeah, okay.
Random
and,
jump and hope I don't fall.
Let's see, how many different ways can I unarmed fight? I'm gonna give this swarm the people's elbow.
Hell yeah. Taki just crunch, crushes bones of rats, crushes debris under them. They walk up to you, Grimmy. They stand, their shadow cast across you, and then, and they slowly drop down to the side.
And that is a natural 20.
Roll damage on that.
Excellent
Double the damage
gameplay,
on the
no, no.
dice.
Me the people! That's gonna be 14 points of bludgeoning.
Me the people for which you do not stand. You bring the people's elbow down upon the swarm of rats, crushing every single one of them. This swarm of rats, the healthiest swarm, obliterated in an instant by the Tonki's elbow.
Which one was that?
That is the one to the right of you.
Grimmy, you okay?
I am now.
Tonki's like on the ground asking you that, just all the way up, there, all the way over them. Little like rat parts twitching under. Grimmy, you okay?
I picture like a very sunny smile.
Yes,
Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a horrific picture for anybody on the outside. But that is Tonki.
Yep.
Alrighty, that brings us to Emmy. Emmy, for the first time, a flame has not taken hold in the basement.
Well,
Getting better.
there's only one left.
One swarm.
Guiding bolt.
All right. Make your attack roll.
Don't hurt me.
Does anybody else
19?
still have a surge of
19 is
fear
a
when
hit.
anybody casts guiding bolt?
No.
Also is not prepared for this.
Guiding bolt was Gunter's go-to.
20 points of
Oh
radiant
my
damage.
god.
20 points of radiant damage. Emmy,
that kind of
tell us
stuff.
how it happened.
Yeah.
So Emmy kind of pulls out another ball of radiant light and just throws it. Finally happy that there's no more fire in the basement. And this swarm of rats just erupts in this radiant burst.
Phenomenal. You pull this guiding bolt, you throw it, and Grimmy first, Tonki down, crushing one swarm with the people's elbow. And as you turn, this huge swarm of rats, just 4 or 5 of the original swarm kind of rising towards you to strike. There is just this sun that erupts next to you as guiding bolt obliterates the finality of that swarm. And with all of the rats who are hostile taken down, and the one rat that was just a rat living in this tavern now on Tuli's shoulder, you are all out of initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was gonna pick Nora up off the ground bodily and just set her back on her feet.
Oh.
Are you hurt?
Oh.
No,
I think I lost a button.
Serax helped out.
You can
Last
see
button?
Serax up top, fiddle and bow in one hand, looks down, surveying the damage. They look at the devoured corpse of this creature, and they look pretty sad. They say, I should have checked the floor first. I just wanted to have fun.
That's pretty fun, Serax.
They nod almost absent-mindedly to you, Tonki. But as they kind of make their way down, intent on helping all of you, is anybody still hurt?
Ralph is missing a
Emmy's
couple.
gonna walk over to Grimgob and touch his shoulder, and that will be 5 points of healing back.
Well,
Serax will
Thanks,
play a
Abby.
very utilitarian little tune, and you take 3 points of healing.
Nice.
But they return to the bottom, and to you, Tonki, they say, real fun shouldn't leave somebody hurt.
That's true, Serax.
I'm sorry we messed it up, Serax.
They stop you, and they say, no, it wasn't any of you that did this.
yeah, to be fair, this was like this when I got here.
They kind of turn, they
Now,
look,
Grimmy, Serax
and you
is
can see
sad.
a little bit of a storm cross Serax's face as they look for the stage manager, Tick Tick, who should have been in charge of all of this. But because it is 10 o'clock, as you have all survived this encounter, as you have saved 30% of the patrons of the Sunken Refrain.
And we
No,
got
60.
one.
61 escaped.
One left.
That's true.
Because
That
of
60.
us.
I would say
Yes.
that's not saving. I would say
I
because
intervened
gained
in
a
their
rat.
fate.
Who can watch the
They were
show?
brought
You
out
have
of a perilous
saved
situation by our actions.
50% of the people that were originally part
Plus
of the
another
encounter.
half because the rat can
55%.
attend,
Unfortunately,
but not patron.
Emmy
With-
would go to the body and
Loot
take
it?
care of it.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm.
Different
Ralph would
character.
know.
It's a different kind of.
So you administer some rights to this body. You would imagine the Sunken Refrain probably not booming with business when Campaign 3 starts. In fact, the Sunken Refrain shuts down soon after these events.
It's just more sunken.
It's significantly
sunk.
more sunken. The structure
Maybe
remains at
something
the start of
better will be
Campaign
there.
3, but it is closed and has not seen business for at least 3 years.
Oh. So they didn't turn it into a pizza place or something?
They do not have pizza here.
Coolest goal.
One
Now-
pizza sounds delicious.
This is just one of many adventures that you shared with Serax, and perhaps there will be time for us to explore some more. But next week, when we start our adventure, several years will have passed, and at least one member of the Mistridge Misfits will no longer be standing home.
Oh shit, is it me?
Thank you for joining us for this in-between session. We will be back next week at 7 p.m. to start this adventure in earnest. But whatever you do, please stay safe. And on Sunday, join us for Iron and Thorn, the Carathulu adventure that we are all playing right here in Massachusetts. But please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you next week.
Bye.